Hello, hello, hello. Hello, channel. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're doing absolutely fine, guys. How are you doing? Oh, wait a minute. थोड़ा चेंजेस हो गया मेरे सेटअप पे. 2-3 दिन अगर स्ट्रीम नहीं किया तो थोड़ा बिजी हो जाता है. As you guys know. भाई मैं इतना डार्क क्यों दिख रहा हूँ? I don't know why. क्या चल रहा है? हेलो, हेलो. मेरे को कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. या तो इसको कुछ हुआ है या फिर या वो तुझसे वाला लाइट क्यों इतना ये करता है? गाइस आज के स्ट्रीम में 2 मिनट को कुछ तो हुआ. आज के स्ट्रीम में हम EWC का वॉच पार्टी करने वाले. मेरे 2-3 दिन से तबीयत खराब है, इसके लिए मैं नहीं कर पाया. उसके पहले मेरी लाइट वगैरह नहीं थी तो मैं स्ट्रीम नहीं कर पाया था. और हाँ, आज अभी नेट चालू आ गया है, सब बराबर चल रहा है. क्यों नहीं EWC का वॉच पार्टी किया जाए? लेट्स गेट इनटू स्ट्रीम गाइस. कोई आया तो मेरे को बता देना. मेरे को नहीं पता कि कोई आया है कि नहीं. कोई सब करते बैठा हूँ. क्या करते हैं? Wait, I can see myself. I can see myself. जो हिंदी
And they're getting booed while entering the stage, but they have
way on their show, carrying not only a region, a whole hemisphere here in the Valorant competition. Doesn't get bigger than this in terms of pressure, but we know that they know how to deliver. We know they know how to lift trophies.
One of the coolest things I've seen from NongShim is their ability to bounce back. They can get destroyed in the first map and all of a sudden turn the game on its head in map number 2. They don't go down without a fight despite being down huge in rounds. Let's take a look at what they decide to bring out as we get into our agent selection. Vitality about to make their way to their stations. All smiles on the stage for now.
they're excited. Also, the having
Let's
the
see,
coach behind the
आज
players is
literally
such a
game
cool.
के
I
हिसाब
love
से
that
खेलने
we do not have an EMA. Between that and being able to bring papers onto the table, like my heart is definitely here. But as you're saying, let's talk a little bit about Ascent, because we were speaking about the results for NongShim. Let's talk a little bit about Vitality as well. We saw them play against NRG, but it was just a 16-14 overtime.
Yeah.
Testing the waters might have been enough for them, and probably thinking of what you're saying, and then just making NongShim go to somewhere there where they will be uncomfortable no matter what might be the key for today.
Is that a normal thing in coaching in Valorant? Because in Call of Duty, you normally see people just try and play their best maps. Are you counter-picking more often in Valorant?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes up. These coaches are smart. If you see a weakness from a team, it's very easy to go, okay, especially if you feel like you can play it to a decent degree.
Right.
You see weakness, you smell blood in the water, you go for it.
Do you remember yesterday
No,
with
what's that,
NRG?
guys, you know?
I wouldn't blame
वो
Gentlemen
हाथ में
for
वो
wanting to
ऐसा
go to the match where
Fitbit है,
Ethan is
जो भी
playing
हो,
Neon.
कैसे
No
रहते हैं,
shade,
काम
no
कैसे
shade to
करते हैं,
Ethan. Absolutely, we're not going there. We're not going there
Small
because
amount of shade.
I would no. If I actually wanted to shade him, I would, but that is not the case. But yeah, I can understand where it's like, oh, we see the weakness, something that we can exploit, and it happens quite often. I think that another one of the jewels that we need to highlight when we talk about the history of this game is Derke and RB. Both of these players have been playing for the longest time, but they haven't been playing against each other since 2023 in champs. And you guys remember how 2023 was for EMEA and especially Fnatic.
Yeah, look, we talk about the experience on the side of Vitality. RB is bringing experience in droves to NongShim. Cast your mind back, he's there on the original Vision Strikers. He's been there since the very start. Oh yeah,
Playing Killjoy, playing Yoru. It really feels like RB has been everywhere.
Here we go. We've got our agent selection in, and I was asking young Sayonara, the 18-year-old stud, what is his favorite? He can play 3 different roles. He said, I love to play the Sova, the Fade. He has more control over the games. Do you expect him to be showcasing that throughout this best of 3?
Well, he's going to have to do it on a Phoenix here today. Much more aggressive from him. To be fair, I like him in this secondary duelist role. I think it lets him really get stuck in the mixer there on on the side of NongShim. This is what we expect from them. It's classic double duelist. Dambi on his signature neon, but look out for Exros. He has to go toe-to-toe with Sayonara there.
Seeing Derek on the jet, it just brings back memory. We were talking also about Ivy when you see him now playing on the Sentinel. A lot of duelism and a lot of brawling, but control is going to come down to him.
Yeah, for me, I want to put a lot of weight on Chronicle's shoulders here.
Okay.
On the Vice, he has everything he needs to slow down that double duelist in the second half. No verticality there for the side of NongShim, so he has to really lock down those sides.
I hear you're doubting RB on that verticality.
I was going to say, on the other side, if you are looking at NongShim, are we liking this composition? It seems pretty old school familiar with the neon in the mix, though.
Yeah, look, it's very them. They love to do this. For me, I would rather them embrace their own style, understand what works for them. This is not a team that I want to see get too countered, get too in the weeds about the anti-strats, run what won you a trophy.
Game is ready. Our casters are ready to rock for this first one. We've got the beautiful duo. You know them. You love them. It's Mitch and Tom Biz. Gentlemen, take it away.
Let's go.
Well, it's always wonderful to hear from you, Puckett. It's good to see him over there on the desktop, but even better to see the Vitality fans in the stadium ready to root their team on up against NongShim. This is far from an easy matchup.
No, for sure. I think you come in with the NongShim squad basically going back to what won them Santiago. Like, let's go back to our style. Let's put Dambi into that role where he can just show unmeasurable amounts of flair. And then on the other side, it's the opposite. It's Durka going, I didn't like the neon, but I'm going back to my jet now that everything is fixed. Who's right? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But an aggressive start on contact to the cab. The problem is, it was Sayonara to land that first shot. The trades just didn't come through for the side of NongShim.
Yeah, they've lost themselves the opening pick. Vitality now happy to run back, play somewhere else on the map, but NongShim are coming to meet them. The defense exploring mid, finding a lot of bodies there and a lot of bullets flying back in the other direction. It's going to be a 5v1. Ivy needing the start of dreams to even make a dent here.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, I can't say I'm much of a believer in this one. I like the plan initially,
just have the
camera contact, flash off the back of it, and try and find the kill in A main. The problem is, they lost every single fight along the way. You can have the right idea, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. Already, you can see that Sayonara's looking for those additional orbs, taking so much space, and also just the position of Profek. It almost seems like he forgot to leave the spawn. He's just watching. I will say, he's not really favored with a classic from this range, but maybe that won't matter too much. He's done damage, he's found info, and ultimately now will just be the cleanup in the end.
Yeah, of course, he was the one that activated the trip on A that kept Ivy over there as the plant was coming down on the other side, so he didn't want to rotate through, knowing there was likely to be a fight. Got his scrap in the end, and, well, all things considered, I think Vitality are going to be pretty happy with how this round went. The first fight goes their way, they group up on mid, they catch the counter push. And from there, only lose the one. Easy as can be.
Good shot, boys. Yeah, I think a very comfortable win. And obviously, we have to look back at what we've seen on this map so far. It was a dominant win for Mates versus NongShim when they played this map. Really struggled over on the attack side, so I think we're definitely looking to see if maybe the defensive side half will work out better for them. Already though, looking for an aggressive contact play. Again, it seems like the goal is have these little set pop flashes ready and then fighting off the back of them. It can be difficult at times to get value from the Phoenix on the defense if you don't have these sort of setups, but that's something that I feel like Vitality are going to have to figure out along the way, and already an opening pick in what is a round with very little to play with. We'll see how much damage NongShim can do.
And also, when you're going into a stack, you're often going to want to have your Phoenix.
For exactly
the reason that NongShim used him. That counter flash going through the window after Vitality tried to take B main. Now when you push out to a site, you have to rely on perhaps that Vice flash. Make your way through. They're going to group up towards the B side. They've avoided the big danger, at least for now, the stack from NongShim. The numbers from the pistols where they really become deadly, but they're on the other side of the map. It's going to have to be Ivy just getting out, playing the retake with the squad. He's on
30 seconds
27
left.
HP with a classic.
Rotate.
He's not going to get much done if he stood his ground. So I like the adaptation. Chronicle doesn't do as well as he really needs to there. Luckily, that's just the pistol, but from here on out, there is a big chance for NongShim to make this at least a costly round.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at 3 rifles. Any of them dropped will mean they're not able to be rebought. This is aggressive from Durka, surprisingly aggressive, but has a teammate covering off the angle. Make sure he can get out scot-free. Of course, they also don't want to get locked in. That's the other thing that must be going through the Vitality players' minds. If we sit back, they're going to use the spike against us. So we need to get aggressive. We need to take this space back away. And they actually do an excellent job. That could have been very, very costly for them. Instead, they kill all 4 remaining players. They lose no more of their own. And all the rifles, as you said, they'll be kept through to the next round.
Yeah, this is it. Like you said, it was an aggressive stance that they were going for, Tom, but it was necessary in that moment because, yeah, if you sit back in a 4v3, sure, they're probably not going to get to the site. They're probably not going to defuse the spike, but what they will do is sit outside and wait for you to come rushing out. And then you're either going down to the spike or you've got a pretty uncomfortable fight.
Elias, please don't.
We'll never know. Please don't what? Elias
Please
is
don't bark.
Oh, I doubt he's asking that. Yeah,
I would have been, if anybody is asking it, it's probably Dirk.
I'm counter requesting. But no, that was
that's Powell's counter. He's going to take a pause and be like, we actually need more of that.
It was a very promising round from NongShim though. They're set up to start the round with that flash in main, waiting for contact. As soon as Vitality give it to them, they burst back with a trap of their own. And then at the end, the attempt to play the exits, but as we said, there was potential for it to get costly, but it ends up being a relatively comfortable round for Vitality once those
they had technical
signs went out of
pause.
the way. As D-Gon would say,
I thought they had a
sounding,
what we
luckily it was quieted just in
time.
time.
Tactical break.
Weird, I don't know what a submarine alarm sounds like.
I've never heard it in person, but I've heard an imitation, and it's
okay.
quite alarming, I will say.
You know what? I agree with that. I can imagine it would be. Nonetheless, 2-0. This is where we expect the response. So far, those contact plays have done a little bit of damage. Having the flash ready, but this time it's almost just a double duelist crossfire. Normally, though, when you come into this sort of a bonus round, there's some vulnerabilities for the side that won the first 2 rounds, but for Vitality, that isn't the case. At worst,
Take flight.
they have a Guardian. Okay, they didn't manage to build up any of their ultimates just yet, so that's not going to pad the gap. But you do look at NongShim and go, okay, this round might be a little bit more difficult than you'd expect.
Camera नहीं लगा. Camera तोड़ दिया क्या? Camera तोड़ दिया मैं.
I did think this would be an even more difficult round with that split towards the B site, but they're going exploring. And it's dangerous territory. Vitality, it looked like it avoided the danger. We thought it was Danger Man Danby, but X-Ross crossing off names. And, well, okay, a 4v3 at least. Yuppie does well to pull that back. That pick could open up the site for the plant. Where the spike is on the other side of the map. There's 8 seconds left. 2 players to drop and no time. Certainly no chance left for Vitality.
Guy, it looked like there was and there's no real chance for Prophet to come out of this round. 3-2. It was a pistol and follow-up for Vitality.
Hello. भाई साहब, ये गैलू भाई ने क्या जेवल चावल क्या है ये? जुएल कुछ तो भेजा है. क्या भेजा जुएल? Sent namaste for 2 जुएल. भाई साहब, नमस्ते भेजा है गैलू भाई ने. what? आ गया मेरा नेट आ गया चैट. तो आई होप डाम्बी वाले लोगों ने फर्स्ट हाफ तो जीता रहेगा. प्लीज. Yes.
An attempt to spam back. I think that's about all we can amount it to.
मैं फोन में देखूंगा कि ये जुएल कैसा दिखता है.
decent chance to pick off a couple of players here. One shot on any of three. Anyone but Francis. But no shots landing for Vitality. That is a big round for NongShim. As, again, we talk about the pistol. It's a coin flip at best of times. If you lose the second round, we've got bigger problems, although we've seen that here, especially in the first couple of days. But this is NongShim's chance to keep running away with it. They know that the momentum and the ball is still very much in their court. And the most concerning thing, as I said, is thinking about Danby. How confident he was towards the end, especially of that first half. Now on the attack, he's having a round like that. It's definitely alarm bells for Vitality, but this is a big buy for the defensive side.
Yeah, operator in for Durka. Sayonara, one away from having his ultimate, although saying that Exos just got his online. Looks to set them up nicely. Now they need to clear Ivy, because although he didn't have the greatest of first halves, that last round was disgusting. It was well the aggression of Vitality. Spike drop. Completely solo. But for now at least, a little bit more tempered by NongShim. It does really seem like they're building up into that Phoenix ult.
Hello chat, show ko bhi stream pe na aaya. Hello, welcome to the stream.
This is what Vitality tried to do.
Okay.
So they're big full buy rounds where they dump their ults. There was no one involved. This time it's a different story, but before it's waiting, the ult firing to slow the push. They pump the brakes, the spike still, it's in the hands of RB. They are going to the B site, but they're in danger. That spike's being dropped towards the stairs, a double invade from Vitality. Wasn't even needed as Chronicle.
Okay, nice one, Francis.
Scalp after scalp.
30 seconds left.
X-Ross and Francis, a lot of work to do, and it's left to just one. As good as he's been, there's no way back into this round.
Chat, those who are new to the stream, please subscribe. We are close to 700 subs. If you do that, it would help me a lot.
Chronicle there. That was one where as well, it seemed
in
like
chat, can
not
you just
only
let
did
me
they
know
get so tunnel vision
whom
in on the NongShim side, I think either 2 or 3 players got pinged twice by the reveal, which is madness that nobody shot that when it was fired up.
And guys, please,
so it gave all information over to the opponents, but also
channel.
then when you send through the Phoenix ult, it just activate the wall. Nobody else was through on the other side, so they got staggered.
Nice,
it meant the rotation could come in.
Mike,
It became quite easy for them to make sure that ult didn't go anywhere.
क्या ही चिल्लाया
चैट thrown into this round. Vitality
Sorry मैंने लाइट किया था इसके लिए मैं बीच में AFK गया था, but yeah, now it's back. I hope ये ऐसे ही चलता रहे.
For this exact play, they had 2 players in the spawn. One sat on site with turtled utility in the form of Chronicle. The second, the spike makes it over to the stairs, and the rest of the squad is staggered behind because there were walls. I don't think it was
like
just the Phoenix ult,
right?
RB went through as well with the spike. So
I think maybe, yeah.
It's like you TP through. So now the ult fades. You've got one dude in the middle of the open with the spike on his own. And as soon as that falls on stairs, as soon as he walked towards stairs, it's like, this is over. Because Vitality had to rotate its time. They had boots on the ground, right position. And already, you can see the timeout was called immediately. The second that one slipped, because there were a lot of mistakes there. The initial execute, the reveal not being shot, the spike being deep on its own, isolated. That can't happen.
I think it's also the context of the last 2 times they played back. Because it feels like a bit of an early pause, but when you go 3 to 9, 3 to 9 on the backsides and back edge, I think the coaching staff very quickly realized that if we're going to get ahead of this, we need to do it early. We don't want to allow this map to slip away after having such a solid off, dear lord. Wow, X-Ross has got a little bit unlucky with that one. A wallbang that has ripped his head off in the first seconds of the round. Well, losing your Phoenix like that, not going to help out the problems.
No, I mean, that's not that bold of a statement, I think. Fantastic work by Vitality early. They found 2 spams, 1 for a kill, 1 for damage, but Danby quick to try and recover. They're taking out the Vice utility, but still on site. Yumpy remains 53 HP, and they know that he's here, but not exactly where. The snake in the grass strikes for at least 1. Get another bite into a pound of flesh. It will! RB's caught on the retreat. Yumpy dancing with death, but every step is perfectly placed. Francis, the last man standing, 4 to take down. Yumpy's there from the beginning until the very end for Vitality. They are 1 behind.
That was just good positioning from him throughout the round. Takes a lot of early spam damage, but then there's a lot of spam damage done back in response. The remaining 3 players end up low, but it's more so the molly utilized by Sayonara to give him the free
like
The second he clears RB, the other 2 players are back towards the site, and he's able to isolate some more favorable duels. At that point, if RB turns around, he's trapped on the stairs and there's nowhere to go. So that molly helps him out this one.
At least let's go for 620. Let's go for 620 if you can. Like, if you
even cleaning things up towards the end.
Yes, I saw.
We spoke about how this defense from Vitality has been stellar and the opposite for the opposing side on the attack, but after what we saw in the first half, I was sort of fully on the cards that, okay, this is going to be NongShim almost running away with this game, but they've stumbled early in this one, and it seems like the momentum now is firmly with Vitality once again.
Hello guys, those who are new to the channel.
I've heard this is now NongShim with another timeout. That's concerning.
That's surprising.
That's back-to-back, no? Is there 2 rounds?
Yeah,
that's back-to-back rounds. As a player, that's one of the worst things that you can hear. You know that there's mistakes being made. You see it. You just lost 2 rounds, and the first one started with a revealed double ping in 3 players. This one, it really feels like the teacher's taking you down to the principal's office at this point. Like, it's time to behave. But for NongShim,
But they're still in the lead.
A lead that was, yeah, but that's the thing. Even though you've got that lead with the context of their previous attack sides and double pauses like that, I think the morale is going to need picking up now. Like, that is going to do a number on your mental.
I guess. But it also then, I don't know, maybe I would have waited another one to see how the eco goes, but I guess it must have been a scenario that was worrying enough.
Something's wrong, man. They must have called
both are running at the same time.
in the timeout, and they're not hearing the lessons being applied. They're hearing the same communication issues or whatever it is, the same reactions. Maybe it was RB going towards the smoke there, being caught out by the molly. This attempt to get ahead of Vitality to catch them off guard, even though they've been ahead of the rotates. Whatever it is, it's not a good feeling to have those pauses called back-to-back. You don't... on one side of the stage, for Vitality, they're sat there going, we're not even in the lead and they're panicking. Let's go. This is our game now.
Oh, back to the B site.
अंदर आ गया काम भी राइट में आ गया.
There is going to be the spot, but the fact is there hasn't been any need to move this vice wall just yet, because it has had value every single round. The TP, I think, has been heard, and then the spike's been dropped on the other side of the wall. RB is the only man standing anywhere near and just stopped going towards Chronicle site. I think that might be the answer. Every time that vice wall has been there, they haven't even got close.
Yeah, the vice wall in the way and Dambi's wall very short. It was
hey, that's the average size.
The fast line did not cover very much distance.
That wall
there.
looks massive to me.
Fast lane. Yeah, no, it was huge. Huge. He got off to a flying start. He speeded down the fast lane and then hit the end of it immediately.
Yeah, I would say that's at least, what, like 5'7"? A little bit.
Get a little bit more, maybe? 5 or...
That's your
8.
height, right?
Wow. See, I actually thought you were making a 6'7" joke. I thought that's what that was. 5'7" or maybe a little more. I thought I'm not.
No.
I didn't think you were referencing the fact that I'm 5'7" and 3/4. 3/4 is important. That does put it above average.
Okay.
3/4, which is an important thing. Anyways, what is important is speaking about being slightly above the average. The average rounds here 9. Each team. I've added them up divided by 2. I did that quickly as well.
He's never been rage bait, by the way.
Now this is I chose to go, all right, listen, so double digits is what they're looking for here. For Vitality, defensive side starts out slowly. And for NongShim on the attack, it's slow as well. They're looking for a little bit of mid-control, looking for a fight. Understandable, they were picked off by shots through walls and spams in the previous round. It was just a low buy, but you don't want this one to slip away in the same fashion. Vitality.
Shadows traveling.
Not going for any aggression. You know, it's almost like NongShim are countering themselves. Let's wait for them to push, boys. What, they're not pushing?
Nice mid push.
Passive operator.
30 seconds.
Location reveal हो गया है.
Dirk has sat back. Dambi looking to take the space.
नहीं. Okay, अच्छा push.
Reaggression comes in. There's Durka again with that operator. He's able to just deal death from above. Still yet to be taken out, but at least one comes through. Durka with another shot already.
What an aim by
Durka. He's diving in for more. Durka's taken over this one. You go one side, you meet Chronicle, you go to the other side, you meet Durka, and well, Perfect has to close the round, but it felt like that could have easily been an ace for Durka. What a round from him.
Oh, him getting the ace only came down if they wanted to risk him having it. I think I might have just seen him at the end there saying, give it to me. He wanted the ace, but the round comes above all. Double digits now for Vitality, a team that outside of the pistol and follow-up for the majority of the first half looked deactivated and looked like they had disappeared.
Disappeared
now rematerializing right at
the
the finish line, right when their opponents were there. No timeouts anymore for NongShim. They have to keep rolling with the punches, but every blow is landing for Vitality.
Right here.
Well, yeah, all the players that were missing have now woken up. I think Durka was 7 and 9 in the first half, and he was just diving in head first to get shot, so you kind of understand it. But now, given that operator, he truly is a different beast on this defensive side. Already extended. You thought that you could dodge away from that B side. Well, now they have swapped the setup. I think realizing that there has been no success towards B, they're going to try to go back to A once again. Already getting completely denied.
ओमन की स्मोक की वजह से अभी उन लोगों को ये कन्फ्यूजन हो रहा है कि कहाँ टिक पे मारा उसने.
The crowd was quiet, but I've heard
पकड़ाएगा.
the chants begin.
थोड़ा भी पीछे घुमाना हो, Cypher.
They waited for the lead to be taken.
It's an opportunity.
NongShim losing Francis, losing Ivy. This
I
is the
knew
thing
it, भाई Ivy जाएगा
where
क्योंकि
these players
उसका जो
work. You can see it from the get-go.
Derek का लग रहा है भाई, Derek का लग रहा है.
Instead it's going to be Dirk. Instead it's going to be Sayonara.
Shot ही नहीं लगा, उसका shot ही नहीं बजा.
Off save कर. 9 now.
Off save कर. Off save नहीं किया.
From their opponents, 8-4 at the half.
Off save नहीं किया, chat. Guys, those who are new to the channel, please subscribe. We are close to 700
the wind in
subs.
their sails.
700 subs करवा दो तो फिर 300 सब कम रहेंगे मेरे 1K के लिए. तो please करवा दो, please.
Completely blinded, even still manages to get the kill. And I think then even not knowing that Durka was in that couple of consolation frags for RB, but this has been a game of two halves, and somehow Vitality are looking like they might be even more dominant than their opponents were. Right back to basics. Faster take towards this ace. Although saying that, 2 players are in, the rest of them are a little bit further behind. They're looking to try and take the weaponry away, and they're just losing fights. This is so disjointed. Finally, though, RB has just managed to strike back with 2.
RB निकालेगा, but I don't think so. उन लोग का अच्छा निकल जाएगा round. यही round निकलेगा,
Still
but
Hunter's Fury online for Vitality, but might not get a chance to use it.
they won't enter.
Sending no
Clutch हो जाएगा मेरे को तो लगता है.
They think that the full rotates come in. The spike is going solo towards B-Main. I have to hope that they are going to delay this a little bit. I have to hope that they don't think that this site is wide open. There's no drone. There's no reveal there for Francis. He's slowing his roll a little bit. He's clearing main. He's being cautious, but they've lost a lot of space. 2 players sat inside A main. Spike outside B. 1 in mid. This is a crazy round from NongShim. I don't mean crazy in a good way, but it's certainly something that Vitality's finding it hard to predict.
It looked like they were going to late hit towards the A site, but I think they've ended up working out because of the aggression of the defense. The 2 players caught by RB, and then the third after they go looking. And he might just close it. No, never mind. Chronicle's at least been able to pick him off. Now, that Hunter's Fury is still available, but it's finding a position that would bring them value. Maybe as a disruption, or maybe it just won't be utilized at all. 2 players.
Maybe I think he'll try to like get some picks, but
he knows there's at least one.
I don't think so. He'll get some picks or something.
Chronicle's gonna have to be the danger man though. X-Ross already
more than 2 or 3.
Will be able to help his teammate out. And now it's left down to 1.
Nice one.
NongShim have their response. It's definitely a bit of a fisticuffs, brawly style round.
No. What is it? What is it called?
And that's all that will matter to them.
Hey, did he drop? Oh, Vitality.
A slip up would probably mean letting the map go. If NongShim weren't able to take this one across the line. They do remarkably well. And I think from Vitality's perspective, they still have a timeout if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
But using it would give NongShim the opportunity to reassess.
No one from mid. Maybe they are coming from catwalk. Be careful there.
Out for the pick. But the thing is, as time ticks away, NongShim closing the distance on short. There is now some danger there for Durka.
Left se.
They should be ready for it. Baiting out the first shot. They'll send him back.
Shadows traveling.
Francis got hit on that. Already a little bit of additional damage. Drone looking to just re-clear any of the ground that they lost, and Prophet has spotted out the player. It might sell a bit of a bruise that they're still going in this direction. Instead, Hunter's Fury, and that was the already tagged up Francis. That's going to be one gone. Timing actually works out for Exros, though. He's able to clear the line, but then Yuppie just swings in and pops 2 heads in an instant. I don't even think he should have expected anyone to be there. Okay. A little bit thicker than expected, maybe, for Chronicle.
No, that was all part of the plan. He's rubbing
show
it
the junk in the trunk.
Exactly.
To bait the opponents.
Blind them with the full moon. It's a brave strategy.
New ability?
Blind.
30 seconds left.
Radianite malfunction.
Blind.
Well, it looks like 12 on the board for Vitality. 20 seconds. Spike miles away. An ult for RB, and he's moving towards the site. I mean, I think they might get a plan out of this.
He has it.
I'm hearing it. He might try it. 10 seconds. He'd have to go now.
So, I'm
That's one at least.
Bhai,
That's
piche
the rest of the
dekhiye.
players look like they were just going to be holding for the retake. Because that spike was dropped by the Hunter's Fury. I don't even think that they know that they don't have it at this point.
He's probably kicking himself now, clearing that back boathouse with 5 seconds going. I could have just planted. What are they doing?
Yeah. But I like it from the Vitality side, because they just went. They probably assumed they did have the spike. So they don't expect him to TP.
They assumed he either has it or he's going to use his ult to take it. So
and then rather than leaving Chronicle half HP alone on the site, they're going to just retake it as a team. And when you have that much of an advantage, playing it safe makes a lot of sense. And why it does seem like that one chaotic round with RB able to be in the center of a victory might be one of the only rounds they end up with unless NongShim can get their first streak of rounds. And while you can see what Profex did, he had himself a rifle. Now he's going to hide with a judge in the smoke. The entirety of the opposition waiting on the other side.
Picks up the rifle. Shot landed by Durka. Nice, Paranoia couldn't be better from Profek. When they've seen Dambi in the corner, left him on a sliver of health. Now it's only Ivy. 50 up against 5. And a flash coming his way. He's got to run. Dodge it to start with. A kill found, but a formality surely. He has a minute to take down the entirety of Vitality as the home crowd roars. 50 seconds. And then I bet the rest of the squad's already wondering what comp they're running.
Double pick leke baithe upar.
Absolutely no hope in this round. The spike still dropped on the other side. It would have to be an error of cataclysmic
30 seconds left.
proportions, although Yumpy's given him 25 seconds. They all know exactly where he is. He now knows exactly where they are, but I think he could have had an educated guess of that anyway, and Durka homed in on the angle. Okay. But in the end, Vitality will get the job down. It looked like a pretty worrying deficit. Their defense was almost flawless. But for a round for RB, of course it is the match choice of Vitality. Now let's head in towards Split and see if they can take this in a 2-0 fashion.
It is a map that Vitality chose, but for NongShim, it's gotta hurt. Feeling like they had it within their grasp, and yet a magic trick pulled. They opened their palm to find it bare, stepping in to the rest of this series without a map. A reverse sweep needed for NongShim. Vitality have stepped up in a big way, feeding off that energy from the crowd. And now, one of the next two will be enough to send
one of the best matches I have ever seen. Like,
with how this started,
full coordinated, भाई पूरा दिमाग लगा के पूरा शांति से खेल रहे लोग. Vitality वाले. At the time मेरे को लगा कि हार जाएंगे, but नहीं भाई.
Send this over to my pal Bucket.
Game की जीती हुई है भाई, आज game की जीती हुई है.
Into the breakdown here, we welcome in Athena at big time to the studio. And Athena, I want to start with you. 8-4. NongShim on defense is making a statement. They silenced this crowd out of the gates. How did they get the early lead?
It's crazy because they looked so good on that defensive side. They were really proactive, making sure they're going for a lot of these fights and setting themselves up for success. I think, Morgan, you talked a little bit about something in the green room, something about trap.
Yeah, I feel like the defensive game plan here from NongShim was rock solid. We've got some replays we can take a look through in just a little bit, but it reminded me a lot of what Leviathan were doing over in London. I think they had a great blueprint, great game plan. Then you get onto that second half and they just can't attack. Durka gets the up rolling. Chronicles there with the Vice Util in the perfect places, and NongShim just begin to struggle. They rely so much on pace, and when they get stopped, that mid-rounding just doesn't seem to be there.
I gotta say, Francis, maybe my favorite player on that stage, always poking out on the defense. Didn't work so well on the attack, but let's take a look at where it was working on the defense. NongShim had a plan. It is to lay the traps, and it was working perfectly. Walk me through some great examples.
Yeah, this was a really nice mid trap here. You can see that setup doubled up towards mid. They knew that Vitality were walking up. That flash and the paranoia combo trapping them in that corner. They also threw that molly for them.
Yeah, I love this because I feel like they fight Vitality ahead of the game. They don't let Vitality attack into them. They take the game upon themselves. I felt like they did an amazing job of this throughout the defender half. This is another fantastic example of a little B main refight with that recon double swing. It's so perfect because it just disrupts the tempo. It stops Vitality from getting their own double duelist rolling. So I was very impressed there. I was feeling very happy. I was feeling very optimistic.
Very happy.
And then the side swap happened, and now I'm angry. Now I'm sat here annoyed.
Let's talk a little bit about where Vitality flipped the script. Was it purely Durka? Was it a team effort? What did you see? Because the attack was a total different story. 9-2 in the second half.
I think it was definitely a team effort, but Durka was one of the main
I'm grown as man, bhai. I'm 20 years old. 23 years old, grown as man, bro. I can't do that like 6-7 wala thing.
They just pushed all the way down mid with Sheriffs, and it actually worked out in their favor. But then overall, just pushing, being aggressive on their attack side. It's been really good, but they just moved onto that defense and had so much more map control. And this hold here, Durka with the 3K, just shutting down so much of these entries. It seemed like NongShim didn't have a choice.
He's a fantastic player with the operator. We all know it, but I also think he gets so much impact even when he isn't the one landing these kills. Think about the amount of times he's getting aggressive in the mains, and he just baits out a lot of the utility that NongShim have. Running double duelist, you're not drowning in util. You need every single piece of it. So he's having huge impact, even if it's not him getting the kills. So very, very impressed by him. Credit to the coaching staff as well. This defender side game plan to disrupt and destroy a double duelist was rock solid.
For those who are tuning into EWC and Valorant for the first time, who is Durka and how deep is this man into his career, Athena?
Oh my God, he is the GOAT. I think he's won what is it? He's won a Masters before. Him and Chronicle. Before as well, and they've just been phenomenal. Durka, though, he's been such a good player. Getting into that duelist role, he's been super aggressive for his team. He's been playing for at least 5 years.
Oh, EWC.
Like beginning of Valorant type beat, and he's just been so good and had such a full career.
Well, the real question I have for both of you is why did you predict Durka to lose? If we take a look at your EWC play predictions, I have the tablet here. I've got all of the statistics, and you guys are 0 for 2 after yesterday.
There is no way.
0 for 1 in maps to start the day.
This is gaslight. Wait, did Degon select NongShim 2-0?
He selected, let's scroll down.
No, we
NongShim
specifically
2-0, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that right side of the screen. MIBR 2-0, NongShim 2-0.
He just picked it.
Oh, bro, what the fuck? We fumbled, guys. We fumbled. We fumbled.
बढ़िया बट अटैक में जहाँ पे जैसे आपने मेंशन भी किया अभी परफेक्टली वो 4 राउंड निकाल लेते एटलीस्ट ताकि ओटी तक तो पुश हो वो तो बिल्कुल ही बहुत ही ज्यादा दूर थे
Should क्या लगे ना watch
2 rounds out of the that's it
is it Hindi commentary or also what
does NongShim have an advantage on their map pick?
I think they'll be feeling great about this. Split is always a good map for them.
Game is ready. Let's go to the casters.
That will help, guys. That will help.
Valorant has exploded into a global phenomenon.
Spike planted.
16 teams vied for the crown, but now only one will take it.
Watch their dreams shatter before them.
Official camera for Esports World Cup. भाई साहब सीधा कैमरे का लेंस लग रहा है बिल्कुल.
Welcome to the Lenovo Legion stage. I'm joined with SVG to give us a bit
ये
of
क्या
an update
camera
on what's
भाई?
going on
DSLR?
over here at Dota 2.
Very interesting group stage so
are
far.
they
We're
using
seeing a
mobile
return
phones,
to
I think,
dominance for a lot of
for
the European
capturing
squads.
the data?
You know, they had a little bit of a mixed year, but now they're topping the group 1s and 2s, dropping barely any games here. We have Falcons dominant as ever.
Classic.
They really want the win in Dota because if they get the win in Dota, then it's like smooth
Oh,
sailing
wait,
for that
what
club
the
championship. But I think they're gonna have some tough competition.
Okay.
Aurora looked
Looks
really good.
relevant.
Spirit looked pretty good, and a fan favorite Enigma Galaxy back this year. They
All
are
right.
back.
That's good to hear. But do you have your own favorite in terms of a Dota 2 champion that we're going to be crowning here?
Well, the comms in the backstage are that Yandex are our favorite right now, and I think they do look really solid. They have very smart players. I think that tends to like give you the edge in Dota. You know?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, if you're smart. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's a smart person game. You got to get those brains working. So I'm big on Yandex, but I do like Enigma Galaxy. It's
Right.
one of my old boys, Sumail, on it. They're cooking. They're informed. Good vibes. I'm rooting for them.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for the check-in.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
it from us. Back to you guys.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion.
Welcome to the Spike site. We've got 45 seconds on the clock and a lot of tasks to
MP,
do. Yumpy and
Yumpy.
Prophet are going to be taking turns,
Yumpy
and
and
whoever's
Prophet.
still doing a task,
मैं jump पे
time
jump
hits
पे कर रहा हूँ
zero,
भाई, Yumpy.
loses. It's best of 3. Are you ready?
No.
Yes. I'll take your answer.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question to decide who goes first.
Okay.
Gentlemen, how tall is the Eiffel Tower in EWC Club Championship trophies?
I would say like 450.
1,500. Yumpy is still closer. The answer is 550.
Stack 10 coins into single pile. Where are the coins?
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 11?
1-0.
I mean, again.
Okay.
Continue.
Bra. 6, 7.
Put your timer. Okay. The adjudicator's coming
Please,
in.
please.
10.
Nice.
Your next card, your next task. You want to get this to 2 meters. You're not allowed to attach it to anything. It has to be just like this.
In this like straight line, yeah?
But without breaking.
Oh, he's not using me.
Go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I lost.
Yes.
No.
That's that one out of the way.
1-0.
1-0 to Yumpy.
Oh yeah, it's best of 3. Till a banana.
What the hell? Let's move on to the next one. Perfect.
Right, Valorant,
What? What's that? Like, ऐसा कौन बनाना feel करता है वो?
Nice, David. Good job.
I think we have to give it to him.
Yeah, I give it that. That's a good job.
I thought,
Yeah.
thinking outside the box, bro. I love it. Okay.
I did Insta, so if you're gonna waste time, I'm gonna leave the room.
Of course I did Insta.
Yeah, but like I'm saying distance, right?
Of course I did Insta.
Yeah.
There is no. Okay, let's go. Next. Fold a piece of paper into paper and send it across the room. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is a good technique. This is not bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's not. Is that across the room?
No chance.
I mean,
there could have been a gust of wind. So
exactly.
For safety, one more throw. If you make it off the white, then it counts. Come on. No.
Hey!
I think you're gonna have to fold another one, my friend.
Yeah.
7, 6, 5.
Yes,
there is no,
I got point.
There is
yes,
no chance.
Yes.
Bro, 1-1. We just make the game exciting.
Are you ready for your next question? How tall is the Eiffel Tower if measured in marshals?
Yeah. 250 is a good guess. I would say 190.
The answer is 214.21. 190 takes the cake. Okay, Yumpy, you're going first. Please draw your card.
Win a tumbler against the opponent.
This is good. Okay, I'll press the button here, gentlemen. I'll be the adjudicator. Please prepare for the thumb war. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, win it 10. 10. Nice, he won.
You gotta keep going until he wins. 22 seconds.
Now I won.
Okay, I'll give it to you. It's close enough. Do 10 laps around your opponent. You gotta run. Yampi, could you stand here for me? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go. 1, 2. No, 1, 2.
No, that's 3, 4.
Okay.
That's 3, 4.
7 seconds. 6, 5, 4,
What are you doing?
3.
I did 10.
1.
Walk
2 seconds left on the clock.
What, you on? I was in the bar, like the Irish bar.
Flip a bottle. Yampi,
It's like an Irish bar.
You have it. You could have got search for something.
Yes.
Peel the garlic, but you got flip a bottle. 2 seconds. 1 chance, maybe 2. Are you ready? I'll hit the button for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Gentlemen, it was a good game. Oh, it was a fair game. But it wasn't a friendly game. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here today. It has been a lot of fun. I hope
for me.
I hope we haven't caused too much strife in your
for me.
team. One guy's very happy to be our victor. Thanks very much for watching, folks. I'll let you guys go.
The body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular
भाई इन लोग का ऐड भी इन लोग को बराबर बनाना नहीं आता. What the hell is wrong with them?
It's time your chair.
क्या मेरा नेटवर्क इशू था या फिर मेरा का इशू था? जो भी था. It's nice, guys.
Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Thanks. Yo. I had this skin. I have the skin, bro. I have the skin.
For this one though, Kev. It's going to be very close. Oh, that is
My God. Toxic is the
Welcome
game.
back. We're live from Paris, and we're in your quarterfinals of Valorant
Yeah,
here at
okay,
EWC 2026. You can see our players getting ready to rock as Vitality was able to steal our first map. It is now NongShim's map choice. Athena, as we get into the agent selection, what are we playing, and what kind of agents are good on this map?
Exclamation UPI going into split, and both these teams have had a history of playing that double duelist meta. It's worked well for both these teams. I'm really interested to see this map. If NongShim, they've prepared a little bit more on those trap plays because it was working really well for them on Ascent. And I'm just interested to see if they're just going to keep those same comms, because honestly, both these teams are pretty consistently doing well on a map like Split, both above that 50% win rate. So it feels pretty good going into it. Just interested to see what they're going to cook up.
Top 8 teams on the planet right now. They're proving it in front of this live audience big time, though. Is there a regional difference in play styles? Look, Pacific has always been known as the aggressive region. They were playing double duelist before it was cool, before the rest of the world got on the train. Same with these NongShim guys. They love it. They love to be fast. They love to be aggressive. That's how we coin it over here in Pacific. And when we take a look at the agents, so like nothing different on the side of NongShim here. It's that pattern, the double duelist. Neon with the Phoenix running in behind it. This is what they do best.
Yeah, what do you think of the Sky? I'm curious because I have my own personal thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
I like the Sky if you're a very strong, capable mid-rounder. It gives you a lot of information. You also have that drone to work with in the dog. So I think if you can understand how to use that information correctly, you want to play with pace, you can support your duelist quite well. I don't hate it.
You ready for a bold prediction? Raze is going to lead the lobby.
I respect.
That's very valid.
His raise is good.
That's a very valid.
His raise is good. I see an argument, but let me one up you. He's not going to lead the lobby because X-Ross is going to lead the lobby.
X-Ross!
We're
going to a game 3?
Yeah, we're going to
you think we're not going to a game 3 here in Paris?
I don't think so. We will go full game 3.
Let's get into game number 2.
I'm getting real sick of hearing this big-time guy talk a lot of smack every time there's an EMEA team up for discussion. I'm keeping tabs on you, Morgan. It's time to get into the game, baby. NongShim versus Vitality. It was certainly a sad first map for big time. Watching that from the sidelines, it looked like NongShim had the read on Vitality, but the second half was a completely different game. Now 1-0. Does Vitality step in to NongShim's pick?
Yeah, as we all know, Tyler is better. Definitely when it comes
at almost everything.
But nonetheless, into the pistol we go. 4 players ready and waiting from the defensive side. Right place, right time. maybe that's been noted by the opposing side. Sayonara getting the bucket seal of approval, which obviously means a lot. The defense already on mass rotation back to the other side of the map, but you can see the attack have left themselves an implant. They have put Chronicle in place, but he doesn't manage to catch the rotation.
Makes sense that he'd like Raze. Reminds him of the Call of Duty days, but this is where X-Ross's duty calls to him, delivering in a big way, a double under his belt already. Sayonara and Prophet left very low indeed, and a spam from RB is enough to take the ladder. Now,
30 seconds left.
Big task for Chronicle and Sayo, one of which holding on for dear life, and the other's just being delivered to the afterlife. It's 1-0, NongShim in with a convincing pistol.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Morgan might have got something right. X-Ross off to a flyer.
I wouldn't get ahead of yourself just yet. One lucky round
already for the Phoenix. And that's the thing, that's the difference between these two, like having that additional option for flashes. Doesn't need it on the initiator quite as much, but also if he can keep farming up that Phoenix ultimate, definitely make things that little bit more awkward for the attack side. Of course, we've seen this already in the previous map from Vitality, the struggles that they can have on the attack side. This map's normally a little better. That double dive can cause problems. And actually, well, it looked like Durka for a second was going to dive in alone. The tap of the orb almost loses him his life. He's managed to get quite far.
I'm getting a little bit nervous. RB is going to be nearsighted as well, trading out the paranoias, but the swing onto the back, not as clean as it could be, yet still, it's even trades for the side of Vitality. About as good a start as they could hope for. That was the pick they needed, though. That was the pick that would have gotten the spike to a site. Now instead they're trailing behind. Dambi's filled in the space, he's caught the spike, and it looks like NongShim have stabilized. It wasn't even the fear of losing the round, it was the fear of this becoming more and more costly. But Dambi has put that fear to rest.
Yeah, I think that's a singular weapon drop, still maybe a little bit more cost than they'd like, but definitely not the end of the world. And especially with Durka able to walk in and get 2 kills. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous for them, but in the end, it comes out quite comfortable. And while looking back to the last couple of games versus G2 and GE, it was 8-4 defensive sides for NongShim that set them up for success. On the other side of things, the last time that we saw Vitality play this map was versus Leviathan, where they got blasted 13-4. So maybe a few learnings to take away from that matchup. But the time before that, it was a strong attack side half. So arguably both teams starting on their favored side.
It's selected by NongShim, so maybe they have chance to win this map. I'm talking about NongShim.
The early starts kept that first map alive. NongShim. The weaknesses aren't really that present. Like you said, the bandit for RB, one of the weaker fronts. The lack of information later into the round. X-Ross goes looking, even uses the hot hands in the corners, desperately wanting that damage, and Dambi is ready to pounce on the back of it. I mean, they've spotted now 2 players outside this A side. For a moment, I thought NongShim were rotating. I saw X-Ross leave Heaven, move towards the spawn.
30 seconds
I thought,
left.
oh, it looks like they've made the wrong read. They think that it's going back in the other direction, but no, they were just taking more passive positions so these rifles can catch them on the way through the choke point with 20 seconds left. All they have to do is be an annoyance and run this clock down. They have the right players in the right spots, but that pick onto Dambi might just have reset it. X-Ross only good for the 1, but 8 seconds and a plant needing to be found. RB desperately trying to deny it, but they've kept it into a 3v2 at the very least. Until that pick.
Makes it interesting, but still, Ivy already has retrieved a rifle. And again, he's going to find one off the back of it. Leaves it down to Yumpy. This has been far more than a bonus round. Ivy with the chance to give them a 3-0 start and steal it away. It seems like Yumpy started to clock on to where his opponent will be coming from. And the IGO will clutch out the round. But it's a little bit worrying that they even needed that clutch to begin with.
Yeah, I heard a deep sigh from Big Time backstage, but there's no need to be deflated. That was a big round for NongShim. Making it that close, giving that much of a chance for this to go across the line, bloody impressive. Considering the Vitality squad break into that site and immediately deal with Dambi, it comes way too close in the end. But a plant found. And with one man alive, Vitality find their first round of the board. Now, it gets a bit more difficult. This time, NongShim are fully armed, and Profek is being blindsided by RB.
Yeah, you almost have to be a bit frustrated if you're Profek in that moment. Look at the corner that he died in. You kind of hope that your teammates might have you covered from that sort of an aggressive swing coming out from the defensive side, but the flash was just good enough that they were all blinded on the other side. It's still a bit worrying, but hey, great work from the side of NongShim early on. And if RB is going to have a similar performance to what we saw on the last map, we might be seeing a third one after all.
It's those defensive setups as well, rearing their ugly head back from Ascent. That was the problem that Vitality ran into and really struggled to crack the code up. Big fight up in heaven, at least the trade there. Now Vitality pick up the pace towards the site. They know they want to have a fight from above for at least a moment. But Francis still needs to be rooted out from that site. X-Ross's ultimate dealt with Francis taking a tag. He's still standing his ground. He looked unfazed, but
30 seconds left.
now the showstopper should send the rest scurrying. Man advantage, possibly even off the back of it. It was Durka to deliver three. RB all alone with the same task at hand.
मेरे को थर्ड पर्सन कैमरे में दिख रहा है क्या हुआ
still around in the early, but
mostly studio उसके पीछे गया है
for a freebie. But he's looking for a little bit more. He's hoping that Sayonara never looks up, just keeping an eye on him constantly. There's the jump down, allows him to cross towards the site, smoke on towards the spike as well, just to create some danger that the opponents have to deal with. Already looking for the harp, and he's so desperately low, and Yumpy was quick to hand. A huge round from Durka, almost using that showstopper as a distraction. But his triple is what gives them an even score.
Oh yeah, he saved the day on the Heaven fight. On to Dambi. I mean, the second one. Oh yeah, no, the showstopper did go too far. So yeah, that wasn't. I thought he got the kill ahead of the rocket, but no.
No.
He got the kill instead of the rocket.
No, the rocket was not close.
That was actually much further than I looked when he was clicking on my screen, but a little flick of the wrist, unlucky. 2-2. Vitality now face off against Pistols. Their reward starts out with an easy pickup from Durka and a spray onto the wall. Well, then I see him step really close to a smoke versus an eco with an outlaw, and I'll be honest, I start to get a little bit worried, but I'm sure he won't go much further than this.
You know, it is Durka, a chance to farm, and already another one picked up. The trap play, looking to try and put the pressure on, but he has the support of Sayonara. The showstopper might have ended up as a fake flash, but if he can build up to the next one in quick succession, he's not going to worry
guys, I'm rooting for like something we call.
Although this is not the most damning of starts for NongShim, the thing that worries me is how
I'm rooting for a sheriff skin in this night market.
Hyper aggressive. But think back to that last map. 7-9 first half. He starts popping off, ends the second half 12-3. Like, genuinely was just farming. Now we're seeing that on the attack side as well. That's scary.
Because rounds like that, they're the kind of thing that will probably make your coaching staff very nervous. Like, those are skill check rounds. And if you miss the skill check, things go very, very badly, very quickly. Sayo's a little late getting the kill. They hit a headshot with a sheriff onto him. There's a rifle there. You've got an outlaw stuck in the corner. Probably 2 picks and 2 big weapons picked up.
Get punished, don't you?
I do. It kind of frustrates me when it works.
Yeah, keep getting away with this.
When you've got the players who can take those risks and it pays off the majority of the time, and if you don't get Durka hitting the shot, you've got someone like Sayonara to pick up the pieces. And yeah, sometimes you can play a looser game just because you can back it up. You don't want to see every team do it, but for Vitality, They might need a risk here in the 4v4, but X-Ross is the one surrounded and looking the wrong way in heavy traffic.
No idea. He had absolutely no idea how much ground had been taken, and it seems like it's falling into 1v1 picks. The TP is stuck! I don't think Sayonara realized that RB dare stick that TP, and well, I thought for a second he was going to be just some sort of cloak and dagger. He managed to sneak his way through the rounds, but eventually he's dealt with.
That looked like he was invisible for a moment there. There's one ultimate taken, no one pays any mind, and then he TPs on the side, fires 3 bullets, and they're still looking the other way. What the hell? Well, as much as he might have gotten a few chances, none capitalized on. And for Vitality, this is a fantastic round. The ability to walk up behind like that in heaven, crunch on an X-Ross who, yeah, he looked there a moment ago, and he looked there a moment too late. But he left the gap, and that gap was filled in by Vitality immediately. That doesn't feel nice from the side of NongShim. A round loss like that, well, no surprise to see a timeout.
Yeah, I think we're already starting to get the alarm bells that happened.
Back-to-back rounds there.
This is now your map choice. The defender side is where they've done their best work over the last couple of maps, and you could see that a lot of these almost feel like it's momentum. Like you're having Durka get more and more aggressive. That was him running through B Heaven with a Blade Storm, getting an opener. And although you look at that 1-for-1 trade and you go, well, yeah, that didn't matter that much. It's the space they got. Like everybody else had to almost fall back in fear and even pull rotations. And in the meantime, the rest of the attackers go through vents and backstab your Phoenix. Like that's too much ground being lost. And this is, of course, now elimination on the line. The playoffs bracket here at EWC is a brutal one. It is one and done. No second chances. You lose here, you are out.
You mean you lose in the series, but it's very relevant for the map for NongShim. They've made their mistake. They have faltered already. There is no room for failure on that defensive side. 4-2. And NongShim starting with pistols means already a healthy amount of rounds likely online for Vitality. That's a Nightfall there if needed for retakes, but they will need an upper hand to be claimed before they think about putting that through it. At least I'd imagine so.
Yeah, you never quite know with NongShim, but I do.
Right में बंदा रहेगा ready.
Trying to set him up to thrive. The flashes left him blinded.
21 seconds over.
Likes their attempt to pre-fire on the Prowler with the Marshall. That was nice and relatively close.
Time to hunt.
Vitality fill in that mid space, take it for free. Now what do you rely on? Well, the reposition of the Marshall, a good tag. That was a collateral tag as well. Makes it much easier for the rest of the squad to finish off these kills. X-Ross straight in with a headshot. Another delivered on the Sheriff, and they're hungry for more. X-Ross, he's got 3 under his belt. 6 seconds left. The plant needs to be started now. There's no time to delay. It has to be stuck, and X-Ross has won the round alone.
Really impressive stuff. The Nightfall helping out towards the end, but it was the couple that he got. Catching Sayonara at the spike just seemed to put this round into turmoil. A domino effect that forced them into the fights of this man once again, and he just was not missing. It took the final man on Vitality to take him down, and by that point, the round was already won. A huge step up, and well, you can see the excitement from his teammates. 4-3.
Nice, Satchel.
A response, a huge boost to the economy. And while a man who was terrorizing them early dealt with, and so is Profek.
I like the pace from Vitality. They want to get right into NongShim's face. They lost the round. They want to get right back on the horse. But NongShim, they stand and greet them in every single battle, bar one. They come out with a flawless victory. That is huge from NongShim. You win one round, it's a flash in the pan, but then you shut them down immediately right after, and the pressure is on to Vitality all of a sudden.
Yeah, it looked like there was a world where the momentum of the last map the streak of rounds from the attack was just going to give them an immense half, and then some individual brilliance from Exros, and NongShim are right back in the game again. This time the operator in the hands of Francis, so expectation is that maybe Danby will look to try and challenge the walk-up, the paranoia setup. We've already seen Prophet get caught by this before. In fact, in the exact same corner he was standing in. If there's any sound made, any movement on that side, he may just be dead to rights.
You can see Danby is certainly on his marks and ready to go. All they need is that sound cue. In goes the Tiger, clearing out mids. Nobody there. They're starting to wonder what the plan could be. Now a player shot that reveal. I'm surprised to not see the paranoia go through. Prophet moves to a safer position. He can get out now. He's no longer trapped. If NongShim pulled the trigger on this execute, but it's all off of Francis's contact. They want these players to already be deep before the paranoia hits. But Prophet, he's seen these games before, but he won't win them this time either. Vitality, they thought they dealt with the aggression after seeing one, but again, NongShim double, triple down. And Vitality are caught off.
I love the traps that they set, and I love the patience as well. Like we sort of set this team up that they are the aggressive team, and at times they are. At times it looks like they do just run it down into their opponents. But this was timed. We mentioned it. After someone shoots that reveal, you go, you could have done it then. But they were waiting for more than just a singular player. And although Prophet deals with the initial aggression, it's the re-push that ends up catching Vitality off guard. A fantastic round from the defensive side of NongShim. And while from 4 rounds lost in a row, they now find themselves in the lead.
They're playing this game like it's Mousetrap. Every step that's taken by Vitality risks them being caught in a cage they couldn't even see moments ago. For NongShim, the defensive side especially, it has something special to it. Looks like such an annoyance to play against. And that's in the structure of how they set up the buy rounds. Then you have what started this streak being Exros getting a 4K with the Sheriff and winning off of time. I think they might have won off of the kills in the end, but it literally didn't matter. It was already done from that man. The work off of his back as players brushed off him like water off of ducks. It was ridiculous to see them play like that. And then they leaned towards trap setups. Before that, it was Vitality running at them in the round right after they won it with the Sheriff. And they dealt with the full frontal aggression. You play slow, there's traps. You play fast, they're ready. You break against the cliffs like the waves. NongShim stand tall now in the lead, 5-4. This has been a fantastic resurgence from the squad.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things was shutting down Durka. We said it looked like he was building into that attack side, and it might just be one of those maps where he absolutely dominates. We've seen it many a time. He's been doing it for years. For the last few rounds, he's managed to get absolutely nothing. They've walked into the traps. And now the question is, how do Vitality react? Because you've tried the fast-paced hit, and you've been met by a Danby operator. You've tried the slow round, the default, the push into mid and then fall back to B, and you've walked directly into a trap. Where do you believe that the gap can be found? And you could see the early patience, because especially go back to the last map, normally once they took a pause, NongShim went for this crazy, aggressive, ultimate-based round that ended up just blasting them out of the server. So they're just sitting, waiting for now. But if anything, with this operator just honed in on the angle, they're almost playing into their opponent's hands.
It depends on the push itself. Sky's on the rotate over. But Yumpy out of flashes for the time being. It means they go in blind. A cloudburst not providing enough cover. A deep showstopper not landing. And an ultimate pop by Exros. He keeps control of mid for a moment, then slides into the site, but there's nothing left to do. What? RB ran into the smoke. He's a madman. But Francis is there to carry them across the line. Another
Guys,
Very
you can go
successful
6-6
round for
or
NongShim,
5-6.
and it looks like Vitality are
This
out
is
of
your
ideas.
chance.
Yeah,
If you want to
they are
save, you can just
they've
go
gone
for
for
5-6.
basically the same play again,
5-7,
like having
sorry.
this early slow default, thinking, okay, they're not going to have the same trap in back-to-back rounds. Instead, though, it's different. You have the contact setup. They then try to burst through with a showstopper, but you just have these players constantly re-aggressing. RB having no fear whatsoever. And then France is doing exactly the same thing. The second you think you might have a respite with NongShim, you are wrong. And what, 6-4? 4 rounds in a row now for the defensive side, directly after a pause was taken for Vitality. Again, we start to look towards the French organization, the EMEA squad that maybe has the most hopes of challenging for that title. It's the same again. Dambi with a crispy opener and gets rid of Sayonara.
It's going to be frustrating to run into him no matter where they go. Now he runs into them, but Dirk is there to meet him. And Marshall winning the fight out. Giving a chance perhaps to Vitality still. There's so many players here on the rotate. Ivy not caught by either flashes. Primed for that push out, and he's catching them all. It's Ivy with 3 that quells any hope from Vitality in this round. They remain on 4, while NongShim now have a chance for an 8-4 half.
Yeah, I think when we were sat there with them 4-2 down and they took a pause, I wasn't massively believing they'd be able to turn it into maybe even a half victory. But now they're potentially going to walk in with an incredibly comfortable one. I don't know what was said by the coaching staff, but evidently it's worked out. I'm sure. I think credit needs to be given to Ekros. That spark, that flame that seemed to just turn them around. I think it was Dambi just screaming his heart out the second that they won that round. And he's now been devastating ever since. But this round was all about Ivy. An ultimate even committed in the last round in the form of the Seekers. The round before, they used a showstopper both to no effect. Not even space was taken in that moment. And now you look at the defense. They haven't had to use their ultimates. They have 4 ready for this round.
Big pick up by Durka. It was him the majority of the time being picked off right away by that operator.
He thought about sticking that.
He did. I thought he was going to stick it as well.
Even
I thought
he was
going to
stick
see
it.
But I think he's avoided death with that cancellation. The Viper's Pit's going to cause issues. Getting in and planting. An impossibility without a serious fight, and before it leaves, those players have filled in the space. What? He just spammed through the pit to take down RB. Now Dirk is Viper, but they don't know about Extras! He was in that pit, hiding, waiting, biding his time! He takes that burden from his team and carries them to 8-4.
My God, that was an insane round from him once again. He's had most of his kills in 2 rounds, but those 2 rounds have been some of the best rounds I've ever seen in my life. I thought the moment that pit dropped, he was in trouble. It turned out that was their safety net, not being able to know where he is. That was a kindness that he was giving them. And you can see it again. Absolute insanity from Exos in this round, and a well-deserved half lead for the side of NongShim.
Now that was absolutely fantastic, but you know what? I've heard that we've got a little bit of entertainment for you as we go to the halftime break.
Yes, a little bit of entertaining here, because once again, you know there needs to be a team standing strong against the crowd's favorite. It was Energy yesterday. Today it's NongShim, and I'm joined by Daphne and Jean, French NongShim fans. Daphne et Jean m'ont rejoint, 2 fans de NongShim. So my first question is going to be, I'm very happy to welcome some fans here on stage. Être sur scène, qu'est-ce que ça te fait? Vas-y, décris-nous un petit peu la vue.
C'est un peu intimidant, honnêtement. Et moi, ça me fait plaisir d'être là pour NongShim parce que je sais que dans la salle, on est moins pour eux. Et du coup, c'est pour montrer notre soutien, c'est cool.
Et on est content de t'avoir aussi. It's a little bit intimidating here on stage, but we need to make noise because there's a lot of Vitality fans, of course, in the audience. And my second question is going to be, you guys are French, so do you have any recommendations, for the esports fans that are going to be coming all over the summer? Est-ce que vous avez des recommandations du coup? Peut-être quelque chose à faire, quelque chose à voir à Paris, quelque chose à manger?
Pour voir, il y a la base, la Tour Eiffel, l'Arc de Triomphe. Mais je pense que c'est bien aussi de faire le tour des quais de Seine et d'aller un petit peu sur les bateaux, etc.
Wandering around, maybe un truc que t'aimes manger, toi, de ton côté?
Pain baguette classique, franchement, c'est très français, très cliché, mais ça reste très bon quand même tout le temps.
We have the best bread in the world, of course. Who is your favorite player? Who is your MVP in this NongShim team? C'est qui le MVP chez vous?
Chez nous, c'est X-Ross, le super clutch qui vient de mettre en plus pour terminer le half.
Et pour toi?
Moi, mon préféré c'est Ivy quand même, il est très très bon quand même, il a un énorme aim et j'adore ça.
Ivy and X-Ross fans, let's see if the boys can carry this game on the second map.
Thank you very much, Lou. Well, it's time to see if this story's ending here or if there's another chapter yet to be written. Vitality trailing at the halftime, and it might be intimidating up there to cheer for NongShim, but you know what? You had an easy half cheering along. I didn't hear a lot from the Vitality fans.
No, I think that they're a team that it's impossible not to like. They're probably the nicest of all the players, but then you get in the server and you see them do some of the nastiest things you're ever going to watch in your life. I think both X-Ross and Ivy, good choices. But is there going to be a response again? We saw this in the defensive half of the last map. It looked like Vitality were maybe going to go into this map with a deficit. Instead, they came out with an advantage. Is it going to be the same again? They might just need another pistol. And already, Dirk under serious pressure. I'll be honest, I don't know how he's alive.
He was going out for a knife kill, but it's quickly spiraled into favor for NongShim. It's a little bit messy. Yumpy barely survives. 22 HP, a stray bullet will take him down, and they can't hold the spike under those conditions. It's time to fall back. Still a paranoia to play with for Profek. He spotted them. The retake of ramp underway. Profek fleeing to spot them. Oh, it's a messy fight. NongShim were both ready for that. Ivy and Francis trained in on the angle, and now it's only the low HP of Yumpy.
I think they saw him.
They've definitely seen him on that peek up. Ivy was tagged earlier, but he won't be looking for the scrap anytime soon. An immediate rotate from both parties. Yumpy a little bit late.
Ivy able to catch one on the fadeaway. No, he's been
30
spotted.
seconds left.
22 HP. He would need an instant shot. He's not going to get it. It's the pistol now under the belts of NongShim, and they do look like they're running away with this now.
They were so quick with that as well. Ivy jumped onto the rope and then jumped off it, so he hears both hit it and thinks, well, they've both dropped. Okay. Even peeking in, looking down below for that little head peek angle, and then surprise, my guy's standing up on top waiting. Nice work by Yumpy in a decent attempt, but grouping up for NongShim gave them the upper hand. The reposition was perfect. That's another pistol under their belt, and I'll tell you, as I said, the crowd had been quiet. I heard them start the chant again for the second half in favor of Vitality, but once again,
comes
over the venue. NongShim should have an easy time in the first few fights. In fact, all of them look incredibly simple for the squad. It's an eco for Vitality, of course.
They had the same trap, the flash initially and then the paranoia through the wall for the defender side, but they didn't get anything from it. Of course, the weaker weaponry made that quite a bit more difficult, but also the passiveness of X-Ross, meaning he wasn't caught by any of it. It now leaves Profek, who, I'll be honest, a couple of kills for him might be a bit of a saving grace. He's been having a pretty rough game so far. Does he check? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. That's at least one. It's only the pistol, so not anything too damaging loss. And all of the players are pushing, by the way. Every single one of the NongShim players have just completely left the spike. They didn't care at that point. They wanted the orb.
Well, you know he can't defuse, right? He's in front of you. So why not box him in, take him down, grab your orbs along the way. This is definitely got a different flavor to it than the previous map where Vitality had already fought back. They found that streak of 4 rounds and nothing since. Definitely looks like a strong pick for NongShim, and the question is, will there be a sign of life before the end? This is pretty much it. The last expected heartbeat of Vitality. It starts to falter here. Will be breeze on the horizon, and NongShim wasting no time. Dambi's already ran up through mid, but he's taken a lot of damage.
This is a round that it's safe to say Vitality cannot afford to lose already. Backs against the wall in their opponent's map choice. It was 4-2 the last time they won a round. Since then,
nice.
In the other direction. Early trades back and forth, but it is Vitality that comes out on top. Of course, bonus round for NongShim, so even keeping this one tight might be enough, but with Ivy and RB, plenty of credits in the bank. It's safe to say they're going to be going for this one.
Certainly with how the rounds have gone for them so far, they'll give them a decent chance. The pressure put onto RB, good paranoia. He'll use it to TP as well, and I'm not sure they will avert that. Profek was hit by the paranoia as well.
30 seconds.
They definitely know about it now, a little bit late on the spam, but all the while he is just buying time. 20 seconds for that flank to come all the way around, running out of time, running out of chances to get this across the line. It's got to be a more aggressive play, and well, that certainly was aggressive from RB. They know where Ivy is. He's got no time to connect these kills, and you can see Durka just flees, realizing he can win it off time alone. But Profek really secured Vitality in the 5th round. A chance here, but a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, I think that even in that moment, the goal was to just try and take weapons away. I think they knew at that point they'd already lost the round just off the back of losing the spike in this scenario, but even still was a bonus, getting rid of 3 guns. And if they'd won that fight, it would have been a 4th. Still feels like a mountain to climb for the Vitality side, and just looking at Exros, unfortunately, this is going to be a very smart moment when we get back to the desk. Because he has been incredible.
Chronicles के लिए थोड़ा कठिन चीज़ है, but
he has to run it back online.
Spray ज़्यादा नहीं मारना है.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about this round. Vitality credits all put on the line for NongShim. They have ultimates to throw at it as well.
Maybe
good when it comes to the buy rounds. They've got the majority of the defenders towards the A site, which means Profek stands alone. He's isolated.
Nice.
He's isolated a duel to start.
Down B.
Not bad. Now teammates coming to help out. The spike recovered by Danby, but he's going back in. They're not giving up on NongShim. They know there's numbers here. They are not deterred, and perhaps they should be. RB to the side's being hard, but he gets the jump on Chronicle. Looks back to Durka. He's dancing around that pillar, but has no idea that death is right above him. Durka's adjusted. He detected Ivy. I don't know how. And he's left RB all alone. The spike in Durka's possession. Yumpy at his back as well. They're now together. The high-low in play. The firing squad, whose only job is to execute this omen. When he steps into their sight line,
30 seconds left.
The smoke will cover him for now, but into the fight he goes, and out of the round. Vitality, another lifeline delivered, but many more needed.
I think good initial work by Profek to slow them down. I think especially just finding an angle where he couldn't be spotted by that running back. But then it is Durka. It's Durka just sort of flipping back to the player above that turns this round on his head. It looked like for a moment that was going to slip away from them. But once they get into that 2v1, solid positioning to make sure it was incredibly difficult for RB to isolate any of the angles. I also don't think his smoke helped him out too much. I understand what he was trying to do, but I think it kind of boxed him in with no angles to fight. Aggressive stuff for the defense, though. This might end up being a problem.
It's an immediate stun by Danby and the flash that came out from Exros. That is what gave them the upper hand, but well, push comes to shove. Somehow they're still holding on. This looked like Vitality were falling, or sorry, we're crushing them, but they've fallen behind. Sayonara is desperately low, but he survives the spam of the Guardian. And indeed, survives the round. Vitality, 7-10. I'm starting to believe it's possible. A 3-round gap is where this game changes.
Yeah, we've seen this already in the last map. They then manage a mass streak of rounds, and although some of these have been a little bit tighter, I'm wondering if we might see that pause coming out once again. I think the NongShim coaching staff have been incredibly proactive. Even in the last game, it was the same, where they were in the lead and they slow things down a little. Clearly not feeling the burn just yet, but I'm looking at that operator into Durka's hand. It was a game changer on the defensive side of Ascent. But on this side, it seems like he'll be on the wrong side of the map. This is looking like an A hit.
Well, it's looking like they don't have much of a choice, Tom. There's no coverage outside B with full control there for Vitality. The only thing is the defense is waiting for that fight on mid.
Blind के बाद अगर ऐसा एंट्री अगर देने वाले लोग मिल गए ना मेरे को बहुत अच्छा
Taken out of the
लगेगा।
round and the team peak cancelled
आराम
from
से
Profect.
पूरा पीछे।
Dambi single-handedly got them
ये
this
राउंड।
site, got them the plant.
और चार्ज कर दिया। रह गया अभी रह गया थोड़ा सा।
Got them a huge advantage and probably forced Vitality to save because he spammed through a pit and a smoke. That part's a little bit BS. The rest of it was impressive. The last bit, more frustrating than impressive. But got to be incredibly frustrating for Vitality to now see that round drop like that.
Yeah, this is the Dambi effect. I thought they were going to build in and potentially use some of the ultimates. It's only the Viper's Pit that ends up
मेरे player तो भाई अंदर नहीं घुस पाते कभी भी।
but a more direct hit and finding the isolated man. The fact is there's at least been some delay for the defensive side so far. I think Profect, the last round, he was able to hold the line for rotations to come in. This time, it's so quick that they get rid of Yumpy that no one has an opportunity to get in to support him. There's no way anybody could have found some sort of trade without, well, the same BS spam that we saw from Dambi. It's going to be another round onto the board. The pause clearly not needed just yet, and for Vitality now, with that streak coming to an end, they now have to pick themselves up again, 4 rounds behind, and their opponents only 2.
Next match Breeze नहीं पसंद chat. Not gonna lie. This kinda irritating.
Oh, for Vitality, as you said last round, the isolated man found the one without delay. This time, they're going to leave Profect towards the A side. A man who can escape, at least, perhaps delay with the paranoia, but not from where he is. Again, the idea from Vitality is to look for the mid-fight and to leave Durka embedded where he is. He's going to have a challenge.
He was seen.
There.
मार सकते हैं निकल के।
Doesn't seem worth it anymore. I was about to say, when you've been spotted through the gap in the smoke, the value of this diminishes massively. An expected mid-push almost feels like a death sentence.
They're going to flash that?
Instead, though, they seem very ready for Durka's positioning.
They were.
Dambi able to bait the shot, and he's looking to try and do the same again. He's just looking to try and play him alone.
Nice!
And while he's lost his life because of it, no trade to be had just yet. And cover available to help out RB, however, it's just TP to the other side of the map, clearly realizing the Profect had abandoned it, given that information over by Ivy. And they'll find themselves a post plant with the defenders fairly far away.
With the time and space lost by Vitality, it's almost a good trade for NongShim. They're a man behind, but the clock plays as their 5th man here. The dog sent through, cancelled immediately. That's so much info denied. Great spam. Ivy's done wonders here. Reading those rotations, calling for the spike to make it over here. And now stopping the information game. Vitality go in blind. They lose Profect right off rip. Sayonara's down and out as the flood in sees Vitality washed away. Durka try as he looks like he has absolutely nothing to say. NongShim 12-7. 5 chances to close this out and bring us to 3.
And this is something I've really loved about watching NongShim, is it's just they get the piece of information they need and they will make the bold call. The bold call is to just TP into the back of that site. Go, I've spotted the rotations, I know what's going on, we can get a plant, and it's going to take them ages to have those rotations. And as you said, I felt like even the spam that he went for to deny that information, it's a bold play. If somebody swings him, takes him out, that's a problem. Instead, he's able to slow down the push, enable their own crossfire back towards the ramp, and then the players within the site are able to just bide their time. A 4v5 that looked like NongShim had the advantage throughout, and now a last-ditch effort from the coaching staff of Vitality to try and save this map and stop them having to go to Breeze.
Yeah, this is one of the more difficult ones. 5 rounds in a row, no room for error for this squad so far, and it is starting to look like on the other side of the stage, NongShim are on a form that just cannot be broken. Seeing Dambi have this level of success, and yes, big time, I see you with your headset on, you're in. X-Ross playing the way that he is. He's doing a great job.
Who?
I hate
Big Time or
X
X-Ross?
X-Ross,
Oh,
of
okay.
course.
So
Big
just
Time got
wanted to
lucky once. Smug look on his face. Well
Chao,
spotted on NongShim's face as well. 5 chances to close this out. And Vitality definitely looking more deactivated than the last
स्वागत है
map.
आपका स्ट्रीम पे.
You can see this again. This is something that we've seen regularly from NongShim. You take a pause and we're going to be right in your face, right down your throat. The second these rounds begin, they send Dambi up mid, but this was all just to try and pincer. We saw this in the last half. And now Dirk is the one under pressure, but they kind of bypassed him already. The site is firmly under their control. In the meantime, Sayonara has popped a showstopper that's achieved nothing. And although Dirk managed to get a free chance of success, he's completely missed the beat. 2 players already down. Sayonara desperately low, has to flee.
जैसा अपना स्टिकर कैसा रहता है वैसे ही अभी ना एक नया काइंड ऑफ लाइक जैसा इन गेम मनी कैसा रहता है वैसे यूट्यूब का भी काइंड ऑफ पैसा है वो, तो उससे आप अपने क्रिएटर्स को स्पेसिफिकली कुछ कुछ चीजें भेज सकते हो. तो जैसे कि मेरे को नमस्ते भेजा, तो ऐसा वर्ल्ड कप स्पेशल भी है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. नाइस. ये है जैसा किक में कैसा अपना स्पेसिफिकली ऐसा कुछ इमोट्स भेजने के लिए वो किक लेना पड़ता है अपने को स्पेसिफिकली, वैसे ही. हाँ, एक बार फोन से आती हुई. हाँ 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 हाँ, चेक करो चेक करो. मेरे को मेरे एंड्रॉइड में नहीं दिखा रहा, आईफोन में अगर चेक करोगे तो दिखता है. रुको आपको दिखा रहा है. मैंने इसका कीबैंड इसका सेट नहीं किया, बातचीत पे दिखा रहा है. यस 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 यस, पेड चीजें. अबे यार ये ट्रांस ये देखो एंड्रॉइड पे ऐसे आईफोन पे ऐसे दिखता है. देखो कुछ सब बॉक्स दिख रहा है, दिख रहा है. तो इसमें से आप कुछ भी बेच सकते हो. तो कुछ कुछ लोगों को स्टार्टिंग में जिम्स फ्री में भी मिले हैं. 3 मैसेज हटाओ. पर लाइट गया था, मैं क्या करूं. मेरे को पूरा ये सब करना पड़ता है स्पेसिफिकली अगर यूट्यूब पे देखना पड़े. अच्छा हाँ, ये तो नहीं दिखेगा. और ये मेरे को ट्रांसलेट पहले हटाने दे. वो मेरा झूठा फोन है, इसके लिए मेरे को चैट डायरेक्ट जैसे का वैसा दिख रहा. रिएक्शन लाइव ट्रांसलेट. मेरा 0. हाँ हाँ, सब मेरा भी 0 ही है. मेरा एक दोस्त है, उसको फ्री में कुछ तो मिला. 10 नहीं 50 कुछ तो उसको मिला फ्री में. बोला सही है. अच्छा एलक्यूसी भी चालू है बैक साइड पीछे. नहीं जीओसी क्या है. वेट जीशो कुछ तो दिख रहा. जीशो खेल रहा है. सॉरी मैं स्क्रीन चेंज करता हूँ. बेकार लगा ये. मेरे को खुद तो ठीक है, बट ठीक है यार, पैसे अगर आ रहे हैं इससे तो ठीक है. इसमें समोसा कुछ तो है, हमसा यम्यो क्या क्या अजीब अजीब से नाम, बट हाँ ऐसा कुछ तो है. पानी पूरी है. बोला अच्छा है. ठीक. पीसी वालों के लिए नो फन शायद ये लाइक नया है, इसके लिए अभी तक मोबाइल वालों के लिए आएगा. पीसी वालों के लिए भी आ जाएगा, टाइम लगेगा मेरे को लगता है, बट इन लोग उसके लिए भी रोल आउट कर देंगे. और आ गया तो अच्छा है, फिर पीसी पे तो फिर क्यों नहीं लगेगा राइट. फिर मजा है क्योंकि फोन से, क्योंकि आधा पैसा तो हम लोग आईफोन को देते हैं, बचा हुआ पैसा यूट्यूब को देते हैं, हम लोग को क्या मिलता है? 1 रुपया, 2 रुपया, 3 रुपया से क्या करेंगे? क्या पता। तब ये बात भी है भाई। हाइप तो मेरे दूसरे फोन में भी नहीं आया है। ये कौन से इसके लिए स्पेसिफिक डिवाइस के लिए उन लोग ने डाला है, ऐसा लगता है कभी कभी मेरे को। सनसेट, सनसेट में अरे फ्लूइड, क्या हाल है भाई? कैसा स्वागत है आपका हमारे इस स्ट्रीम पे। इस स्ट्रीम पे आपका स्वागत है जी। भाई फ्रैक्चर मैप क्यों है? ये फ्रैक्चर मैप में इन लोग को देख भी लेता हूँ ना, चिड़ मच जाती है भाई। चिड़ कीपिंग क्या मस्त है यार, मस्त डाउनलोड। हाँ ना, उसके लिए स्पेसिफिकली अपने को थर्ड पार्टी पे जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती। उधर से डाउनलोड हो जाता है और अपने हिसाब से डाउनलोड होता है। अरे दोस्त का स्वागत कौन करता है बे? सबका स्वागत कर देना चाहिए यार। हाँ, मैंने उसको बंद किया। उन लोग बात ही कर रहे हो तो मैं सोचा कि जब तक मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, इनको ही है। चालू है,
That
चालू है।
doesn't work for them. Go A. NongShim, can you hear me? Go A.
Go A. ये चल रहा है। तू बता भाई, फ्लूइड पीक पे स्ट्रीम नहीं कर रहा? चालू है। अच्छा,
NongShim want to hit A. Vitality want to take A. It's who's going to upset the script here and have the kind of the mix-ups to get one over on their opponents.
Athena, final time to switch.
गेम ओवर।
If you'd like to, the fans had
थोड़ा कुछ कर रहा हूँ। अच्छा।
choosing Vitality to win this best of 3.
ठीक है।
Based off what I know from comps, and I'm still picking Vitality. I'm
Still going
अभी चल रहा था।
NongShim,
no. Listen,
I've changed. We're back. It's NongShim time. NongShim's on defense. 3 matches.
भाई नॉन्गशिम क्या ही खेल रही है सच बोलने को तो।
Final 4. We find out after the break.
डिफेंडिंग में अटैकिंग का काम कर रही थी। बिजनेस पे तो फोकस। हाँ, आऊंगा 20 से लगो। भाई गाइस स्टिल हियर सीधा बोल रहा है। किक पे तो रैंडम, बट मजा आता है भाई किक पे। मेरे को कल प्रशांत भाई की वजह से पता चला कि उसमें भी कुछ तो एक इमोट ड्रॉ कर सकते हो उस पे। टेबल आने तक बहुत ज्यादा। मेरे को अभी भी मतलब एक मेरे पास पुराना मॉनिटर है और मेरे घर पे ना एक सादा प्रिंटर पड़ा है, तो वो दोनों को बेच के एक मैं अच्छा मॉनिटर लेने की सोच रहा हूँ। गाना सुनते सुनते भाई कुछ भी करते बैठो। कल वन ऑफ द मोस्ट। हाँ क्या? अरे कल गाने सब भाई धाप धूप बजा रहे हैं। मेरे को सच में वो मजा आया भाई कि वो जब भी मैं मोंटेज वाले सॉन्ग्स बजा रहा था तो ऐसे तेरे क्लिप्स भी निकल रहे, मतलब हिट्स भी लग रहे थे। तो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट भाई। मेरे को खुद को मजा आया। मैं सोने तक मैं ये देख रहा था। इनफैक्ट आज सुबह उठ के मैं भाई तेरा स्ट्रीम खोल के देखा मैं इसका क्लिप वगैरह जो किया हूँ, या फिर तेरा वो पूरा ये मैच कि मैंने जाते वक्त कुछ मिस किया क्या मैंने, तो वापस देखा मैंने स्ट्रीम। है भाई तगड़ा है। मजा है भाई। Collect tables. It was never किया है, was known. वही तो कोई ना कोई तो आ ही रहता है। टचू ऐसे ही रहना चाहिए भाई। मजा आएगा भाई। सब भाई साथ में ग्रो होंगे। चल अबे फ्लूइड, पहले तूने मेरे को इस पे किक पे फॉलो किया क्या पता? किक पे फॉलो नहीं किया रहेगा तो भाई फॉलो कर दे। रुक जा, मैं ना लिंक भेजता हूँ भाई। किक पे फॉलो करो। नेक्स्ट आई विल अपग्रेड, सजेस्ट टू गो फॉर माइक 2। मैं मोना क्या माओनाओ का और फीफा इनका माइक देख रहा हूँ, साइड टू साइड मेरी चल रही है, ढूंढना ढूंढनी। बहुत गलत फिल्म देख पा रहा हूँ। कितने का देख रहा हूँ मैं? 3-4 तक, लाइक 2 से 4 तक का देख रहा हूँ, जो भी अच्छा मिले मेरे को। दिस इज नॉट अ गेम। अच्छा होगा ये रुक गया। हाँ, इनका प्रोडक्शन बीच बीच में एफऑन हुआ था। अच्छा हुआ था।
Whether it's Riyadh, whether it's Paris, it doesn't matter, because if you win a trophy, you get not only your name on the wall alongside a title that you've won, but your trophy included in the language of the team. And for the losers, this is what it's all about.
क्रैश किया हुआ कीस तुम्हारा एडवर्ड का एडीसी, वह ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स का टूटा हुआ।
The shortcomings of the competition that teams have had here at EWC. The dream,
मेरा खुद का तो शख्स होता है इतना अच्छा नहीं है, बस सुपर एनवीडिया। वही तो एनवीडिया का क्या क्या नाम है, मेरे को उसका नाम याद नहीं आ रहा। वो ऑडियो वाला बहुत अच्छा है।
not only does your key stay on display on the wall, but at the end of EWC 2026, another token will be
मेरे को नाम याद नहीं आ रहा। वो ब्रॉडकास्ट, एनवीडिया ब्रॉडकास्ट बराबर।
putting their name down in history, regardless of where EWC is being held.
क्या जीरो होता है? प्लीज गाने लगते तो चपिया लग सकती है। बराबर लगते हैं। लेट्स गो चैट, मैच चालू होने वाली है। हमारा सबसे फ्रैक्चर के बाद गंदा मैप पे, मतलब अच्छा था वो मैप, पढ़ो बाद में मेरे को गंदा लगने लगा क्योंकि वो ओवरऑल गंदा हो गया है अपडेट के बाद।
Is he still your man to watch going into our final battle on Breeze?
Look, I think he'll be good, but I think this is a bigger map. It's much more open.
मेरे को ब्रीज सोचता हूँ ना, मेरे को प्रशांत भाई का स्ट्रीम याद आता है। उस दिन में अपन खेल रहे थे ना 2 में, अजम था। हाँ, अजम का अलग कौन था? अजम था और एक वो जो भाई आउट ऑफ कंट्री रहते हैं वो थे, और न्यूक्लियर था। बहुत दिमाग को बिट्टी देने वाला मैच था वो। लेट नाइट मैच डिजर्व था भाई वो न्यूक्लियर को गाली देना। 2 मिनट देना चैट, मैं आपको एक क्लिप दिखाता हूँ तब तक, अगर जब तक इन लोग का टाइम पास बातें चलती होती हैं। हमारा भी वैल्यू का छोटा मोटा क्लिप हम कर लेते हैं। चैट स्क्रीन विजिबल है। ओए होए कौन सा वाला अच्छा है? स्क्रीनशॉट है ये तो दिमाग लगाने वाला राउंड था। ट्राई आउट, हाँ ना। वो मैं अच्छा ये तो पोस्ट करने वाला हूँ। ऐसे दिखाने लायक दिखाने लायक क्या सारे तो क्लिक कर सकता हूँ मैं एक दिखाता हूँ अच्छा 2-3 लोग ही देख रहे तो इतना
Get out of my way.
ये वाला देख रहा मेरे पे पुश होता है और नसीब मेरा खराब नहीं रहता इसमें अच्छा वो इधर अपने आप से ये करो मेरे पे नेड आ रहा है मेरी हेल्थ देखो मेरे पास ये आ रहा है ये जेट इधर बैठ गया मेरे को मार के बेशरम सा ये फेंका मैंने फटाकड़ी सीधा मुंह पे खाया है सीधा मुंह पे खाया है बंदे ने सीधा मुंह पे खाया है ये सामने वाले का नसीब कितना खराब है मेरे को लगा मेरा खराब रहेगा इधर तक लग रहा था कि मेरा दिन खराब रहेगा मेन चीज अपने अगर तुमने देखी नहीं रहेगी ये जो स्काई का ब्लाइंड है जो मैं होता हूं इसमें तुमको क्या लग रहा है सामने वाले का है सामने स्काई नहीं है ये मेरे टीम का फ्लैश है यहां तक भी लगा था कि मेरा नसीब खराब है तो पेट है यही सब से तो मैं जूझ रहा हूं ये वाला जो पोस्ट किया ये वाला पोस्ट कर दिया हमें अच्छा ये वाला थोड़ा दिमाग लगा के फिर ये 2 पोस्ट में आजकल तो कर दूंगा 1v5 रह गया ये वाले पे आगे का आप देखो मैं रुका भाई आ गया देखो अंदर आया
One enemy remaining. 4.
यही सब छोटे मोटे गेम छोड़ के खुश हो जाता है ओके अरे चालू हो गया 1-1 हो गया चल ठीक है 0 से रहेगा वो
They've only got pistols for God's sake with the round that they just had. And then he's hitting clean ones like that. Okay, there will be some cost to this at least. Yumpy, nice flash, and even then, X-Ross ate that flash, full blinded even after the kill. That is a crazy start for NongShim.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm still recovering from round number 2. Like, just 2 blind fire shots through smoke, and
भाई ये कुछ गलत खेलते हैं.
Add up to sure it's against Low-Buy, but let's pretend like even if it wasn't a Low-Buy, he would have killed them anyway. It would have been exactly the same. He headshot everyone. Didn't even really need to in this round, but they are feeling it.
बी पे है सब लोग 2 लोग मिड पे पुलिस संभाल रहे ए कंट्रोलर और इनिशिएटिव एक साइड में हो गया दो लोग इनिशिएटिव एक साइड पे आ रहे हैं 300 जरूरत था ठीक है बॉल के लिए
for NongShim, the last representative of Pacific,
they
are fighting to the nail, and already Ivy again surviving on the site, but the trades have been there.
NongShim वालों का राउंड गया मेरे हिसाब से हाँ आराम से
looking stellar.
बस पीक मत दो डाम्बी मार देगा.
They've stepped into the operator. Dambi and X-Ross wasting no time to put this back even. Something attempted.
आराम से
Profek, what is he under pressure? I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone play this game like Dambi does. And NongShim, one man stands in their way.
आराम से
Profek to carry
Nice, bro.
Kicking and screaming to 2.
चलो वॉच पार्टी एक्सेस मिल गया गेम चेंजर सब कुछ क्या बात कर रहे हो सच्ची लेट्स गो भाई फिर तो मजा ही जाएगा दोनों भाई करेंगे फिर दोनों भाई वॉच पार्टी वाले भी बनेंगे सब ट्राई कर लेंगे भाई मजा आएगा 2 HP समझा उस पे मियाओ 16 के करके एक है जिनको मैं एक बार मिला था वो 2-3 बार इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट वगैरह भी की है तो मजा आएगा उनका एक कॉम्स अलग खेलते भाई बहुत अलग कॉम्स में खेलते तुम इसके लिए भी अप्लाई कर सकते थे EWC के लिए मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम ऐसा कुछ रहेगा तो मैं बता दूं तेरे को
NongShim, it's not an eye for an eye. They take both.
पलाश भी शायद उसको कुछ तो मिला.
It's been a bit of a rough start for Durka.
Watch
He was lights out in the first few rounds of the last map. In map number 1, it took him some time to get going. Should be,
बहुत लेट पता चला.
Connection of the drone, but
मैं बताता हूँ. अगली बार से कुछ भी रहेगा ना वॉच पार्टी या कुछ भी इसका मैं बता दूंगा रुक जा मत
even still they look to scurry away.
नहीं
clearly felt like he'd hard done his opponent, gave him another bite of the cherry. Profik again. Sayonara. And now Dambi goes running back in, ultimate pop, but they don't even know if he's going to use it. Has the operator still in hand, the B side opens business, and a couple of high impact ultimates available for this attack side, but caught using utility. That leaves Sayonara alone. He hasn't been having the best day so far, but damn, we know he can clutch.
Well, Profek died for this plant. He put the cove up.
चलेगा.
Sayonara alive, but now there's no more help for this man. He stands alone against Dambi coming from main. Dambi's seen him turn the other way. The timing could be there. The reveal gives it away. Sayonara, time ticking decently in his favor. The shock dart for now to do some damage, but the defuse being stuck, and yeah, it's not going to be enough this time. Hoping that they would give him respect, that they would pull off the defuse to go and take the fight, but no. NongShim have one goal and one goal alone. It's rounds on the board, and it's mission success.
Yeah, again, just the start from Dambi.
He's ridiculous.
The timing of Francis's peak as well was unfortunate for Profek, and then, yeah, as you said, they just didn't give him anything. They forced him into a position where he'd have to fight two of them at once. Again, what looked like an opportunity for a good early start for Vitality now sees them with next to nothing to play on a hero rifle. But other than that, it's only pistols. Only.
Oh, Chikia.
Shot from Dambi. He's the one to open this up. Durka down, and he's gonna wall bang onto Yumpy. They put 6 feet of concrete between them, and they still can't get away from Dambi in this early round. Ivy's gone pushing.
भाई उन लोग को पोर्टल ये मिल गया तो फिर जीतने लग जाते हैं.
NongShim playing a confident game right now as Vitality fall behind.
It genuinely does just feel like the second this team has any level of confidence, yeah, you do.
Oh, come on!
Kamara! ये क्या shot है?
Things like that. We should be checking his computer. Like, genuinely, admin, get up there. Start having a look through the files that have been opened, because that is absolute madness.
I was losing my mind seeing that in the mini-map.
I thought maybe it was like a corner shot.
No.
All the way over into the middle of the wall.
He got him in the bloody tunnel. They were running for their lives, and it's still not enough. Now Ivy walks into his own pit. Usually you send someone else, because if you die, it falls, but no. They have no respect left. That would mean showing fear. What if I die? What if I die to these guys? That's what Ivy says.
इनके दिमाग में डबल ये नहीं होता.
Versus 5 seconds into the round. And of course, NongShim are reinforcing the A site. They have a pit now to defend this B site. They've got a man advantage already. And although Ivy's used his snake bite for that extra bit of safety and security, if you go walking through that, the utility is the least of your fears. Yeah. I think the only choice is to go towards A for Vitality, and to be honest, it even looks like they're saving. I don't think they are, but they're waiting now for more aggression because NongShim have always pushed.
The crazy thing as well is Ivy has been full dipping Durka throughout this game so far. Like, it doesn't seem to matter what decision Durka makes, it's the wrong decision. Ivy are holding an angle with an operator.
30
be
seconds
it
left.
trying to challenge a pit that's forming, it's irrelevant. And now they're in the right place at the right time. This shot, Danby clearly is human after all. 15 seconds left and 3 players here. Yumpy trying to pad the gap, and he's done so, but there's still another player at the backside they have to deal with, and they do. That gives them a chance with the plant, but the spike has to be stuck here and now. Hunter's Fury coming through, and does he get it down? No, he does not. Francis from a distance has denied the round. A perfectly timed ultimate. And Ivy, well, he almost had the chance to kill him off at the end. It is 5-2. They are running away with this game.
Unreal. Ending the round with a Hunter's Fury. They've got the cove and they think they're safe inside, but not even close. Could protect you from a fisherman, not the hunter. Tracks his prey all the way to the side, and that's it there. This burst. 0.4 of a second left. And Francis steals the round away. For Vitality, it has to feel like a wave crashing against that cliff. We said it earlier, and NongShim, since that moment, they stood tall. It would take years to erode them at this pace. A timeout needed. As this game, this series, and their life in this tournament is slipping away.
You look back to their road to the top 4 in London. They went through DRG, they went through EMEA teams, but they had 2 stumbles. One to the champion and one to the only Pacific team they faced throughout. But bear in mind, be it their first defeat in this tournament would be the one that sends them home, and it would be Pacific again. There's no doubt that Pacific has had their fair share of trophies over the last few years. But NongShim might be looking to try and get 2 in 1 year. A much quicker start. Ultimate used immediately, looking to try and basically just flood this round with ultimates, and that's a great start.
Push out from Francis though. He has found a gap. And that gap has given him the spike now. NongShim on their way, flooding back into the site as a wave comes plowing forward. They're using that as a gap. They're going to push through it themselves and look for the fight. X-Ross is shut down, and Francis trying to spur on and defend that spike. Puts us back to even territory, but for how long? With Danby still floating around, a sliver of health is all he has. A single shot, a wall bang, enough to take him out of this round, and he would have been the last man standing. He is! But he wasn't against 2 with a single point of health. Danby saves the day, and for Vitality, this is a round lost in a more conventional way, but their route to this deficit, RB spams through the smoke, Danby's op through the wall. Francis saving with the ult at the last second. It's felt like so many of these rounds have been stolen from them, and this one is taken right out of their hands.
I think the more damning thing as well is that this was the round where they go, okay, let's spam our ultimates. Let's use that Reckoning. Let's use that Hunter's Fury to get us into the site.
And they got Ivy, who's been the problem. He's top fragger right now, or what?
But then they end up losing to a low HP Danby, who was almost wall-banged out of the round. Even still, though, they have a little bit to play with in this one. Well, their Reaper is back from the dead. Death looking to take them down to the depths of hell. as that's where Vitality sit right now. A plant within the A site, a Viper's pick used. You can see how much these rounds are important to them. The other ult in play is that Blade Storm, and Durka is being surrounded. He still holds on to life. Needs more though. The rest of his teammates don't have much to play with. It's Sayonara lurking with the rifle. If he wins this fight, they have hope, and he does. That's a big kill.
Spams in the smoke is huge for NongShim so far. Vitality
going through it?
Just need to survive this onslaught. And Chronicle, well, hold on! X-Ross got them both! That plant is not good for this position. Sayonara, he has to run at them! And he thought the shock darts would be enough. He took those bruises. His head may be bloodied, but unbowed in the end as NongShim continue to streak these rounds together.
The unfortunate truth is if that pit had done enough decay, and by the time he got there, they were still decayed, those shock darts would have been enough. But he was on the wraparound, so by the time he gets there, all of that decay has faded away. X-Ross with another massive round for the team. And that's all the ultimates. All 5 used in the last couple of rounds for Vitality, looking to try and pad the gap. And instead, they found themselves further and further behind. And their opponents are unrelenting in the force that they use, but this time they are punished. Another couple of kills coming up for Sayonara. He's trying his best. 10 already. But they now have to deal with the op in other hands.
That's the thing. It's not like we're looking at the Danby show here. 2 players spam the wall and Yumpy goes down. It's been the story of Vitality's game so far. This trap from Prophet could be everything. He's blindsided one. He doesn't know exactly where Francis is. And with RB holding the wrap around, that's the spike down. It's in the hands of NongShim now. The position of Prophet may not matter as he moves towards the elbow, but look at the reposition from RB. This is actually disgusting. If Prophet suspects this, he's looking across the stage. He can see his opponent's screen because you would never expect RB to be there that quickly. Rotate. And NongShim, they cannot seem to put a foot wrong.
The crazy thing about this round is prediction, and then you have this from RB, where it is just all about placement. If he connected every single shot in that moment because he was so well placed to deal with them, that there was no way they'd have the expectation of him being there. Deflated on the Vitality side, and NongShim, wow, you can see by the way they're playing, they feel unstoppable.
When I play against a team who gets 10% as lucky as this one, this is ridiculous. NongShim playing a game that shouldn't even be allowed. Danby meets the first leg of this aggression, and X-Ross cuts off the other 2. Again in the lead, a commanding position to play from. Seems like 9 rounds are locked in, and we're not even finished the half yet. With barely a bruise, they stand strong in the choke. They take down every single one of the Vitality players without breaking a sweat.
Full dominated, right? Full dominated.
And they're getting crushed in the same form. Their key may survive for now, but it feels like it's soon to be heading to the back of the stage where the Crusher awaits, and going into the playoffs. We spoke about the amount of EMEA teams that were heading deep with an opportunity. Heretics, the defending title holder, fell. The hometown hero
line dash
of mates went next. BBL may be the only one left by the end of today, as Vitality have a mountain to climb, and NongShim flying that flag of Pacific look to do it with pride. That's another opener for Danby.
Make no mistake, it's a packed house here, but it's quiet in this arena as pick after pick after pick goes to NongShim. A sea of red as Vitality's blood spilled on the stage. NongShim 10.
क्या ही गुस्सा निकाल रहे हैं लोग.
Was a dominant display, but this is desecration.
Oh, this is, well, I think that's all you need to see. A calm, and maybe the fear in the eyes of Vitality. It seemed like no matter what they did, they were caught, and just the raw skill on display from NongShim, moving as a pact on this defense, but they are just not missing a single shot, predicting the movement of opponents, every spam paying off. But there is no doubt that the form we saw in Santiago is back. Anyway, we're
Let's go. भाई क्या ही मैच चला भाई. ये लास्ट राउंड देखना चाहिए था उस टाइम. गलत बहुत गलत.
We can see a little bit of fear here in Danny Engel's eyes, one of the big bosses at Team Vitality. Danny, what's going on here? Are you panicking? Yeah, you got your fans over there. Are you panicking at all?
Not quite yet. I think it's only over when it's over.
क्या ये Vitality का ही है?
Comebacks happening, and I guess the guys can definitely make it happen. So let's believe.
नहीं.
Let's have a shell out over
First half हुआ अभी तक. वो score है पीछे. 2-10.
It is to get off to a strong start at the Esports World Cup. Of course, we talk a lot about each individual trophy. They all matter because collectively, every single great performance you put in across all of the titles over the 7 weeks.
NongShim वालों का entry बहुत गलत है.
Give you points towards the club championship. You came so close last year. Falcons took the title. That's why you're so nervous here, isn't it?
Absolutely, and this is only week 1, right? And I'm already super happy that the boys at least secured 200 points for now. We obviously dream of 1,000 to begin with, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So let's take it day by day, match by match, and this is one of many Vitality matches.
When we look back at the points total that you had last year, what sort of number are you aiming for this year that you think could potentially win the thing?
Well, I guess whatever helps beating the Falcons, I guess.
आराम से.
Honestly speaking, I think we are looking towards like 5,000.
Starting के 1-2 rounds निकाल देगी. मेरे को लग रहा है सब pistol round mostly Vital निकल रही है.
I'm still hoping that we can win today.
Sure you are. Thank you very much, Danny. Let's keep moving.
Well, there was talk after Santiago that their time in the sun.
भाई इन लोग का मेन बंदा है तो उसके बाद से भी पूरी टीम को प्रेशर आ गया रहेगा मेरे हिसाब से. आता ही है भाई.
Down on that stage.
इतने लोगों का रिस्पांसिबिलिटी है.
2 rounds in the first half. This, the last map of the series. Often we talk about that as the middle ground. This has been anything but.
Yeah, right now it looks like the Golden Hornets have met the Fly Swatter of NongShim RedForce. And they need to try and fight back, and that's the worst start they could have had. Ivy dropping a couple. Chronicle at least able to respond with one, but the A site is under their control, and Ivy is still just looking to hold the line. Chronicle, the man with so many trophies to his name, has given them a chance in this pistol round, and Youngbeat found one, but the response immediately, there is no stopping the NongShim RedForce train. A pistol round that might have just ended the game.
Buried beneath round after round, but this pistol feels like the heaviest load. For Vitality, they are now trailing, not just in the map and the series, this half as well. A half that could be just a few rounds. And it certainly seems to be, if NongShim have their way. A painful loss in the pistol round. We talk about it as a coin flip. And for Vitality, they'll know the answer next time they're asked what's the most they've lost on a coin flip, because they are close to losing everything.
Yeah, we saw this at Masters London. They went out with a whimper.
पूरा तुम साइड कैसे छोड़ सकते हो? एक बंदा दिखाए तो.
Their resilience after going down, but in map 2 that dissipated, and in map 3
घुस रहे हैं.
Oh, we're yet to see them show up. It was a clutch on 2 HP that got them one of their rounds, and unless they can make this force fire work, that's all they're going to have in this half. Exros patiently waiting. Him and Danby going to be in the Vitality dreams tonight, and not for good reason. They haven't quite caught the timing. to kill off these players just yet.
Well, they might be a big fish. Mid
जाने का एक आवाज आई
Vitality are swimming with the sharks now. NongShim pulled this rotation to the A side. They wrap back to B. The flags underway from Ivy. He's got them boxed in. Ivy has this round in his hands. He's got them in his palm, and he's closing it to a fist. A three-piece for Ivy, and a death blow on a team that's already long gone.
Profik hope to achieve in this round.
What?
There's no point holding on to a stinger, but at the same time, at this rate, Ivy might have a Viper's Pit even in these last couple of rounds. 17 and 7. Is there to put down Profik. NongShim have elevated to a different level. It turned out sometimes going back to what you know can be enough to relight that fire.
मैंने गेम के स्टार्ट में बोला था इन लोग पहला मैच हारते हैं और फिर इन लोग सामने वाले का गेम पूरा समझने के बाद उनको देना चालू कर देते हैं वही हो रहा है
We talked about the BS rounds and there were some of them. There's Achilles. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Stop looking so happy, Seth. I mean, we're here. We just love to see teams do well and have fun. That's what we're here for.
क्या तुम्हारा फेस कौन क्रिएट है?
With his fans through the smokes, Dandy's up in the wall, Francis winning with the ult, and all the while.
Yeah, out of गया ना मैं out of गया ना.
I didn't actually look at the score line in terms of the kills, but I think Danby probably has overtaken him by now. But there was a point throughout that first half where Ivy was the shining light for this squad. He's definitely putting up numbers. And in a game where everyone else is having these flashy rounds here and there, he was the consistent factor throughout them all. Scary thing for Vitality right now. It's why I don't believe in this comeback, even beginning, because they don't just need to beat one guy.
Guys खत्म होना है उसके ये खत्म होने के बाद खत्म.
Look at the game Danby's had. He's still trailing. I thought he must have overtaken because he'd so many early up kills, but that's how bloody good Ivy's been. So what if Danby starts missing? So what if X-Ross flashes himself? You're still gonna have to deal with Ivy and the rest of the. Oh, Jesus!
गया उसका पेड़ गया.
My God!
वो डर ही नहीं रहा. उसको टेंशन ही नहीं है कि उसको कोई देखेंगे या मारेंगे.
No chill. But you're right. Even if by some miracle for the Vitality fans someone went missing,
वो बोला कि सामने बंदे हैं. हेड दिख रहा है. दे देता हूँ.
To NongShim in this match, and Vitality, well.
क्या करोगे भाई? भाई ये भाई के साथ क्या करोगे भाई? बताओ जरा तुम लोग को.
If they're going to survive in this tournament, and it seems like their journey here in Paris has come to an end, whereas the NongShim journey looks to be beginning.
Big देगा दाब करके मारेगा.
Semi-final spot. Oh, but
पता है भाई. Danby
looks to finish the job he started. Saranara, the one to fall, and a 13-2.
Jeez, guys.
Embarrassment.
Freaking jeez.
Sends them to the semi-finals.
पूरा दे दिया भाई इनको.
But they might be the best overall.
Well, they might not have been the majority, but by God, they sound like it now. The NongShim fans going wild here in Paris as a quieted Vitality crowd watches their key soon to be crushed by this squad. Vitality, no doubt, are a big fish when it comes to EMEA, but they're swimming in a much bigger pond.
आज guys थोड़ा सा वो सेटअप पे भी थोड़ा अपडेट करेंगे अपन आज.
The sharks of the day, and they've eaten well.
तो एक लाइट लाएंगे पीछे से जो लाइट आएगी तो पीछे थोड़ा एक कलरफुल लगेगा और आगे का तो ये लाइट रहेगा.
Put Danby back on the neon once again. Have X-Ross onto that Phoenix. It really just feels like everything clicks for this roster. And the second they smell weakness, the second they sense that you are afraid, you've already lost. Like you could see it the moment it clicked in their brain. Aggressive pushes, dominant rounds, and even when you think that maybe you've quelled them even for a second, they're right back behind you once again. It truly was
GG वाटी का था ना
on that third map. Well, I
अभी उनका ओनर बिग बॉस ऐसा बोला कि बहुत मजा आने वाला है ये वो मेरे को तो देख रहा अभी लोग की कौन क्रश करेगा क्या वो आईवी रहेगा या फिर वो डांगी रहेगा
Indeed, the last hope of Korea is still standing strong. Extros KO, congratulations for this.
Extros आया?
And it seems like
nice,
you guys are in phase. Nothing can get into your head. Even though the crowd was massively for Vitality today, you guys managed to win. So how are you handling this, having the pressure and the public against you?
일단 엑스로 선수 승리 축하드리고요. 정말 누구도 지금 멈출 수 없는 기세인 것 같습니다. 정말 바이탈리티라는 강적을 꺾고 또 관중들을 뚫으면서 이렇게 승리하게 되셨는데 승리한 소감이 좀 어떠시고 그리고 이 관중들 뚫고 이기신 좀 원동력이 어떤지 궁금합니다.
모두가 평가하기로는 이제 바이탈리티를 슈퍼팀이라고 하는데 슈퍼팀인가 싶긴 하지만 슈퍼팀을 좀 꺾어가지고 기분이 좋고 다음 경기 잘 준비하도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, I feel so good to beat the so-called super team here. Honestly, I had my doubts, but yeah, I feel so great to beat the super team here.
I just want to give a big thank you to Maddox as well, our incredible translator. It's always good to have him here, Maddox. And listen, you said that super team. You're so proud of what you've achieved here. You showed such incredible maturity for such a young roster. How proud are you of the resilience you've shown so far in the tournament?
사실 로스터가 나이가 굉장히 어림에도 불구하고 좀 멘탈적으로 굉장히 좀 단단하고 되게 성숙한 모습을 좀 많이 보여주시는 것 같은데 좀 그런 점은 좀 어떻게 만들어진 것 같은가요?
이제 2024년 어센션 때 이제 엄청나게 힘든 큰 고비를 넘겼다 보니까 이제 이런 세계 대회쯤은 이제 좀 견딜만한 것 같습니다. 이제.
Yeah, honestly, getting through my first ascension in 2024 made me resilient. So yeah, this international land, piece of cake.
Congrats.
Piece of cake.
네온 원툴 팀이라고 하긴 하지만 상대 팀에는 이제 담비가 없잖아요. 그래가지고 아마 그 차이인 것 같습니다.
Well, you know, you said Niren's nerf, Niren's bad, but you don't have Dambi in our team. I mean, you don't have Dambi in your team, you know? Yeah, that's the difference.
Can I just say, we've got so many languages on this stage. Just little bit of French, just to say what we've heard here.
So to sum up this interview, donc pour résumer un petit peu l'interview, on lui a d'abord demandé comment ils avaient géré le public, parce que c'est vrai qu'il y avait beaucoup plus de gens qui criaient pour Vitality. Il a dit, je suis trop content d'arriver ici en France et d'arriver à battre votre fameuse super team Vitality derrière. On a développé de la résilience depuis 2024, des loses et des défaites, c'est ça qui fait qu'on devient derrière un grand joueur. Et enfin, on nous appelle les One Trick Neon, etc. Le perso s'est fait nerf, mais tout simplement parce que vous n'avez pas la chance d'avoir Dambi dans votre équipe et c'est ça qui fait la différence.
Well, as you can see behind us, it is being revealed once again, the key crusher for the first time on this play day. It's time to destroy another key.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Yeah. 갑시다.
Kapshida, let's go. So the second key, the second French key is gonna get broken here by the NongShim RedForce player X-Ross. Here in Paris, you're gonna have to press exactly just this, and we're gonna have to witness the Vitality key getting crushed here in their home in Paris by the Korean squad. Waving goodbye. As you're gonna see, congratulations, we're gonna head back to the stage. And I'm gonna get your first impressions. How does it feel in Paris to break the key of a French organization?
이렇게 마지막 남은 프랑스 팀의 키를 부셨습니다.
लाइट गया.
이제 프랑스 팀이 다 탈락했으니까 이제 모두가 이제 저희를 응원해 줬으면 좋겠습니다.
Yeah, well, the last French team is gone, but that being
I
said,
hope थोड़ा
we
ऊपर
were
नीचे
the
चलता रहेगा,
conquerors,
पर
so
चलता
I
रहेगा.
hope you guys cheer for us in our journey to championship.
I think you gained the heart of many French supporters. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. Kamsahamnida.
Was able to power through groups.
Chat, I'm back. Chat, I'm back. Chat, I'm freaking back.
Can they pull off an upset? That is the question in the crowd. We welcome everyone into the arena. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, alongside the lovely ladies. We got Athena and Kakuka. And Kakuka, I want to start with you.
It's because I wasn't here throughout, saying goodbye to Vitality.
Yeah. You want to say goodbye right now?
I will say goodbye, and I would love to say great job, but honestly, that last map,
It wasn't good.
we will be having a conversation
At
about
least
that.
it's a short VOD study, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the last map. The other two, I can understand a couple of things split, but the last map, something else. Luckily, as we're saying, we need to have the teams that we got for playoffs. We already said goodbye to 3. No more French orgs here in Paris, but of course, one of the Americas team.
Been for MIBR. And of course, 100 Thieves.
Oh, for both been struggling a little bit actually back in Americas. They've both been kind of cursed with that 4th or 5th place seed, and neither of them have made a qualification to a global event at all this year. Both these rosters, they're very well built. One of them considered a super team on the side of MIBR, but for 100 Thieves, you can see it here. 5th in America's kickoff, did not make Santiago, did not make London. They've just been struggling, but of course that America's qualifier win for EWC, that's how they
And
got it.
Kakuka, they were the first team into the playoff bracket. 100 Thieves out of Group A was steamrolling.
Absolutely, and they were one of the bigger surprises because the rest of the teams in Americas were struggling a lot. But it was not the story for 100 Thieves. And it's crazy to think that they're going to go against a roster that had everything that was supposed to be everything. The Vitality was to be an EMEA, a super team. But if you think about the individuals here in 100 Thieves, there's a lot of progression, there's a lot of history, and there is a lot of hunger. We've been hearing from Timotino. I want to see more of Bora as the IGL. Of course, the coaching staff being from EMEA is always going to help you. But pound for pound, 2 great Titans coming up here today. I know that the past, we've talked about these names and kind of been a little bit of letdowns, but there's always time for redemption in Valorant, and it's something that we have to appreciate about this esports.
On the other side of this Valorant battle, we have MIBR, and you were saying that they may have the highest paid player. Aspas has been dominant. He was a huge factor on Loud. As soon as they got a chance, they signed this guy to a long-term deal, and as you mentioned, Zekin alongside him. So tell me about this roster. It looks like MIBR for 2026 is out for blood. They're also out for an EWC trophy.
I mean, this is essentially a super team, right? You have Aspas, you have Zekin, 2 of the best duelists in America's period. That's overall throughout their globals, everything that they've played, as well as just in the region. And then you're looking at players like Tex, who's just been phenomenal as that Senti, Mazzino, who's also been really good when he was previously on that crew roster. And then, of course, the IGL. Verno, he's been doing such a good job. He's been so aggressive as well with his playstyle. As an IGL, he's been top fragging. I think he has some of the highest ACS when it comes to this stage, but
highest combat score, guys. ACS मतलब highest combat score होता है.
He's very good at it. We see, of course, 1st and 2nd in the qualifier, but as you mentioned, you've missed out on both global competitions. So is this a win already for MIBR to get into the top 8?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. To me, when I first heard of this roster, I was like, they're going to dominate the region, and they should have. And I know that there's many others, very big names in Americas and very good teams that have been having a great performance. But you want to think that if the talent is that raw, you can just put it together and make it work. Especially when you're talking about some players that have already played together. This was a roster made to win. So making it to here, I'd say bare minimum.
Made to win,
minimum.
paid to win. Can they pull it off? Athena, you've watched more teams from Americas than anyone else in the green room. So give me kind of the lowdown. Historically, who has the deeper map pool? Who would you give the edge to when it comes to the picks and bans, especially knowing that as we get to the grand finals, these are going to be some long series?
Personally, I'm going to say 100 Thieves for that one. They've had a really good map pool so far. I think they've only not played Sunset, I think, so far this tournament. They've been really good. And the thing for me for 100 Thieves that solidifies this idea is their comps are so creative. They're actually one of the first teams to start playing Sage when it came to Americas. They introduced that to Americas, so it's good to see them playing. And I think their creativity is what really pulls them over the edge for me.
One final best of 3 here in our quarterfinals. We're about to kick this one off, but first we got to find out where we're going to play.
100 Thieves, higher seed. So you guys choose Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So 100 Thieves Team B. Yeah.
Team B.
Me lost Team A. So you guys started Vito?
We ban Sunset.
Ban Sunset.
Ban Lotus.
Lotus ban.
Sunset ban, Lotus ban.
We pick Fracture.
Fracture?
Fracture
pick.
Attack on Fracture.
Attack.
Pick Breeze.
Breeze pick, second map.
Attack on Breeze.
Attack on Breeze, okay.
And
नहीं ये गंदा मैप है.
Split ban.
Ban Ascent.
Ascent ban. So the decider will be Heaven.
अच्छे maps.
We'll go attack.
Attack? Okay. Attack on Heaven. Thank you guys.
Right.
Fracture Breeze.
Best of luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Shout out to the gamers who know the one in the white hoodie. He goes by the name of Fraud, one of the original esports goats, now playing with MIBR. Let's take a look here at where we are going. Fracture, Breeze, and Haven will be our 3 maps. Do we get to a map 3?
Hopefully, yes. Yeah,
We've been
every
to a
single
map
match
through
that
every
we've
time.
had here in playoffs has gone to the 3rd map. These people cannot be any different.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm looking at these maps, Fracture is a really big question mark. Because one of these teams have played it, but it's so 50-50 right now for me. It's just essentially who's having
Even I don't know who was
in the
calling.
server, and that's what I think.
They are like about to take some
It's a little bit of a curveball, right? Because
life
the map that is
insurance.
going out of the map
Why
pool
would I
after
take
this
that?
tournament and into VCT.
Like,
Definitely, you're trying to surprise your opponent because
Yes,
as
and
Anina's saying, it's not like, oh, this team is incredibly good on Fracture. They for sure will have the edge over the other. No, I think that when you come into, as we're saying, a competition that is so different, like the one here in EWC, you gotta get all your guns out and sometimes go to somewhere that your opponent is not going to expect. But you know, I want to feel like when they were doing the map veto, I looked at Doombers, I looked at Eric, and he got like a smirk when they picked the Fracture, and MBS, well, yeah, and we picked Breeze, and they were like, okay, I'm expecting this. Okay, fine.
That's their little plan right there.
Not upset with it. Can I ask about why the teams are choosing to play attack on both sides? So your opponent chooses the map, you get to choose attack or defend.
Not every team
Why
is
do you want to be
NongShim.
attacking?
Dude, for a map like Fracture, you
not
set
everything
the
is
tone.
just
The tempo on that
simple
map is
chatting.
super important. When you start out really fast, you force the other team to play at your speed. And I think on a map like Fracture, it's super important because that map in general can be played extremely fast when you want it to be. And you just pull a lot of those rotations. Make sure the defenders are kind of scared, shaking in their boots a little bit.
I think that there could be many reasons for like choosing a side on a map. You can choose to start on your weaker side because you feel like today you need a little bit more of a warm up against your opponent because you expect changes in their composition. Whatever is easier for you to react to and think about the long term. Everybody knows that Valorant is decided in the second half. Of course, the first half has the same weight technically in the rounds, but when you get to that second half, you need to have the momentum, you need to have the mental, you need to understand the game plan of your opponent, and that will push you to the win.
Well, it is time to check in on your predictions. You and Digon went through these yesterday. Let's see how you performed. You hated Digon's pick earlier. How are we feeling about it now, Athena? You got 100 points, 200 points here for the NongShim
Just so
win.
you know, Kakuka,
Yeah, I wasn't here. I'm like confused.
2-1 for Vitality, but we came back and Digon had selected 2-0 for NongShim.
Yo, he knows
actually
game.
gaslit us.
Kakuka, we've got
He
a
knows more.
53 to 47 decider, though. The fans are going with 100 Thieves. Are you feeling the MIBR selection from Digon?
I kind of have to go with 100 Thieves because they have Eric and they have MBS, so it's technically MEA. So yeah, I'm going to go with 100 Thieves.
She's riding with 100 Thieves. So am I. It's time to get to the stage. Let's get this one going.
They had an amazing French crowd, and we also had Champs Paris. And I know they're very active on Twitter. I see a lot of French fans, so I hope I get to see that kind of energy on stage.
They were a really good crowd. Like, they were very animated, they were having fun, they were excited. I was having a lot of fun as well, and it was very cool. I'm very confident. I'm always confident in myself. I think confidence is something very important in this game, and if you are not confident, you're probably not going to play well. So I'm very confident in myself.
We've been keeping things the same, practicing, making sure we're taking every day seriously. We were able to practice for a week before the event, and now we were not jet lagged, nothing, and we were feeling really good.
I think there's no easy match in Valorant, how the games are played. I think it's gonna be a tough game as always. Very excited for it. I like tough games.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty hard to face MIBR. You know, last time we played them, it was back and forth affair, and fortunately I had a really good game, so feeling very confident going into the match and hoping to replicate what I did a couple months ago. And yeah, just hope things go our way.
Good luck, guys. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a rematch.
You're not gonna get your revenge.
For a neutral Valorant fan, this has been an incredible start here at the STC Arena at the Esports World Cup. But for the fans here in the building, not so much. Out of the 3 keys that we have seen crushed so far, 2 of them, 1, 2, were French.
Again, he's ruining the mood. Indeed, en effet, 2 des 3 clés qui ont déjà été cassées sur Valorant sont françaises, vous le savez. Team Vitality, Gentlemen are not part of the game anymore, but there's plenty more teams still looking for that trophy, especially, you know, that last quarterfinal. How is it sounding to you?
It's going to be a banger. I've got a good feeling about this. Our final quarterfinal, our first team looking to steal the show, and eventually this trophy. Please welcome onto the stage, Hundred Thieves!
Ils arrivent fiers, les 100 brigands, les 100 voleurs, venus pour prendre les joyaux de la couronne, ou en tout cas, casser toutes les clés. Ce sont les 100 Thieves.
They've got the brand, they've got the names, and now they need a big statement win.
Made in Brazil is in their DNA. MIBR!
A nice reaction here from the local fans. We all know that MIBR can create something big instantly. They survived the group, now they arrive in the bracket with danger written all over them.
S'il y a bien un pays qui est aussi passionné que la France en FPS, c'est le Brésil. Ian, team seems ready.
Oui, oui. C'est parti!
That was lovely.
As our players get ready to take their seats, we got to discuss a little bit about what we expect to see them playing on. We welcome Athena and Kakuka back to our studio. Kakuka, this is another battle between 100 Thieves and MIBR. We've seen this in the past, but Fracture is our opening map. What agents could succeed on this level?
I mean, a question I think goes around the controllers. What type of choices are we going to see? Are we going to see a repetition of the last time that these teams played this? Double duelist, we see Harbor, we see Neons, we see things that we're very used to see in many other maps. I will say that me coming from EMEA, seeing Harbor here would be an absolute crazy thing. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I was just thinking, I was looking at Athena, the teams were coming out, and I was thinking every single team that has won on this stage was the second seed, weren't they? So
that's true.
Is the 100 Thieves about to lose now? Am I in the wrong wrong if I back them? Because it's like there's Aspas and Zekin on the other side. Am I stupid, Athena?
No, you're not stupid at all. The last time these teams faced off, 100 Thieves actually won that 2-0, and so I'm really looking at them to just keep that regional matchup going. And going into this map of Fracture, I'm really excited to see both these teams, what they pull out, because Double Duelist seems to be the name of the game here. We've seen it so often, but knowing 100 Thieves, they like to cook up some crazy stuff.
100 Thieves getting ready. You can see the focus on their faces. On the other side, MIBR has been a threat. They have always been here since the start of the tournament. The top squads have been afraid. Should 100 Thieves be nervous at all knowing this map?
Honestly, I think this is the best case scenario for both these teams. Having to play in America's regional matchup to advance to semifinals. I mean, that's a team that you've played against so many times during that VCT America's Stage 1. It's also someone that you know their tendencies, you know how they play. You've experienced it, so the nerves are definitely a lot lower. And I think also when the crowd is just cheering equally for both of them, it works out really well.
Well, the MIBR crowd,
I didn't want to say
they got some kind of aura, you know? Like, I've met some of them. They're actually nice people. I will say that about them. Athena, I am also thinking about something that we've been seeing all throughout the tournament. I'm thinking about the duelists, the Neons more specifically, especially after we just saw Dambi and the masterclass. Timotino versus Zekin is something that we expect definitely for this first map. Who do you think has the slight edge just on the Neon?
I think Zekin definitely does. Zekin, he's been absolutely phenomenal on that Neon. His ability to use that movement, use the utility, and get those opening frags has been really good. Timotino, he's known for his movement in Americas. When Waylay was still really up there, when Neon was first introduced, everything that he did looked really seamless. But for me, when I'm looking specifically at those opening frags and playmaking times, it's always Zekin that pulls my focus towards him.
It's time to find out what they're going to be locking in. Our agent select moments away. Kakuka,
yes.
What do we see, and is there going to be an edge either way?
And now you need to explain it to me.
Is this a real brimstone?
You need to explain this to me because I read Fracture, and then you could have Viper, but you like I see the value of the Harbor.
You want to see something crazy? You want to hear something crazy? I was gonna be like, no, there's no way. We haven't played Harbor in such a long time on this map. You know, it was a phase that we all went through.
I see in the future.
When you look at 100 Thieves, though, they make this stuff work. They were the ones that introduced Sage to Americas. They're the ones who keep bringing this Harbor out in so many different maps. But for me, what I'm really looking at is the Phoenix. Asuna on that Phoenix. He switched off that Raze. I thought Bora and Asuna had really good understanding playing together with the C's and the nades.
It makes a lot of sense, right? You have the flashes, you have extra walls from both the Phoenix, from the Harbor, from the Neon. There's so many possible combos. Also with Bora, this is the smirk that Toombras had on his face. He knew exactly that there was something ready and cooked up for this match.
That's why he was laughing. And on the other side with MIBR, they're keeping that same comp, actually changing up Zekin onto the Raze, and Aspas is on the Jet. I think this makes a lot of sense.
Vintage,
Aspas,
isn't it?
Yep, definitely vintage. Aspas, he's had such a good run on that Jet, using the operator so many times to set himself up for success. It's where we've seen him thrive, whereas when he's on that Neon, he hasn't really been that successful.
And even today, we have seen how successful you can be just with that operator, how annoying Dambi was, and how bad of a job Vitality did at dealing with it. 100 Thieves has to be different if they want to win, because it is Aspas.
Yeah, this team, creative for a reason, shutting down Aspas and Zekin, the two GOATs, and duelists coming from Americas.
Players are in the lobby. Casters are at the desk. It is time to begin game one in our best of three. Who's moving on to the semifinals? We find out with Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, Puckett. Yes, here we go. The last quarterfinal of EWC. That single elimination still staring both of these teams in the face. Lose here, the run comes to an end. We will have an America's team moving forward, guaranteed, obviously. Which one will it be? That is up for them to decide as we get into the action.
Yeah, really interesting here that both teams making a little bit of adjustments as they go into this map. I thought maybe there was going to be a little bit more contact there, but Tex holding just a little bit further back, right in that fast lane, looking for a kill, gets one, can't find another. Timotino's got him down.
B.
Yeah, will just be a tiny little bit of damage there onto Asuna. Could heal that up, and footstep to be made. Aspas, however, on that swing.
dealt with. Molly now,
Kasi
top of the
nila.
rope, drifts across that one. Looking for the timing here. Spots out two players. Curveball turned from, but Verno still dead as Asuna.
He said in the
Video that he had a good game last time he played MIBR, and he is up to the races already.
Well, he wasn't kidding. I mean, he was plus 13 on the Rays last time. Now he's on the Phoenix, and he's looking just as comfortable. This is really nice work. Heard those footsteps, gets him prepared, does a little peek over, uses the molly to heal himself, goes for the flash, isolates the players one by one. That is really well handled by Asuna. 100 Thieves here, looking to continue to shut MIBR out, as they did in their last series, 2-0, when they formally faced off. And it was the same two maps, but different looks here on Fracture.
Do you realize what you just did?
No. Look,
we're not
okay.
on camera.
Yeah, but Athena and Kukuka started it.
Yeah, you started it. You just did.
No, they started it.
Okay, they started it. You just did a 6-7, and now we have a tech pause.
That's their fault.
This is what happens when
fault.
old men try to do young people things. The universe breaks.
Oh, I've got a few bangers in the chamber if you want.
No, I don't. I don't want them at all. I would like, unless they resume the game quickly.
Oh, yeah.
In which case, let's let hell break loose. But should hopefully be a quick one here. Seems to be on the flagged on the 100 Thieves side, so ultimately shouldn't be too concerning. So hopefully just one of those things. Okay, unplug the mouse, put it back in, make sure that everything's good.
Yeah, man. The old IT special. Have you tried unplugging it and replugging it?
It's got to get the power cycle going.
Yep. The easiest tricks in the book. But, I mean, looking to today, I think this is really interesting. And I personally like the changes that 100 Thieves made more coming into today than I do the changes that MIBR made. And, you know, having Aspas on Jet is always a threat, no matter what you're doing. So I totally get it. And from that angle, of course, like, he's always like want to just take over a game. It can definitely happen. But I think from like a bigger picture, if I saw these two teams and I didn't know who was playing what agents, I would like 100 Thieves' comp more here on Fracture because of the Neon and the Harbor. I find to be really interesting and could be one of those kind of pocket picks that throws you off as an opponent that you didn't really prep for, that you don't have a lot of experience against, a lot of scrim time against. So it could be one of those things where you're not used to. Where can you position yourself outside of those high tides to A, be safe, and B, you know, have quick reclears, quick, you know, ability to retake, things like that are going to be really important. And, you know, are you going to understand the timings of what your opponents are doing behind those high tides and that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm a bit worried here for MIBR.
There's a lot to try to assess on the fly. But, I mean, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, this screams Doom Bros.
For sure.
So I'm all the way back. Back over in EMEA. Kukuka's still trying to claim him and claim the team.
They're still trying to claim SBS too.
I guess मेरे को stream बंद करना पड़ेगा, कुछ तो issue चल रहा होगा. So yeah, guys, that will be all for today's stream. If you like the stream, if you like the stream, just subscribe and like. Bye.